Alright, let's go. Alright, so we did the route for him. I don't know who we shall go do the next route for. Let's start here, so then we skip the intro part. So meeting the sheriff, meeting the mechanic, getting to town, and I think we met most people by then. I think. Yeah, because now the question is, what do we want to do? See what the town has to offer, spend time relaxing. What happens if we actually do pick this one, meet someone special? It sounds a bit tacky, but what's a bit of summer fun without falling in love? You think about those cheesy yet oddly addicting romance dramas you grew up with thanks to your mom. As the world turns. Days of our lives. It wouldn't hurt to maybe look for a cute guy to hang out with while I'm here. Before long, Kai returns with a clipboard and a handful of forms that get crushed against the pen he's holding. Alright, so give me your initials here and here, signature here. It'll keep your liability free as the renter. After a quick review to make sure the legalese all hold up, the paperwork is completely and hastily faxed away. That's about all I can do for you for now. Just kind of a waiting game. Jean help you out? Yeah, he pointed me in the direction of an inn. Coral? That's the one. Guess I should do my part. You hungry? I was about to grab something to eat before they called in the cavalry. Come on. He doesn't wait for an answer, but he does wait for you by the door. The sign still flipped to say open. Don't need to change that? Nah, I need maybe 10-15 minutes tops. Don't you get indigestion? All the time. As he pulls down the shutters, a little breath of a laugh manages to escape. The garage is swiftly locked and he guides the two of you onto the sidewalk. I'm just walking you there and then I'll have to head back. Can't take too long of a detour. Cars want me, something needs me. We can grab something together next time, yeah? When I've got someone else around to mind the garage while my dad's out of town. You walk into the diner beside Kai, the smell of fresh coffee instantly hitting you alongside a gust of freezing air conditioning. It's a quaint little place, but judging by the amount of customers, a popular one. One of the servers walks over, greeting you cheerfully with a bright smile. Welcome, come in. His polite smile falters when his eyes land on Kai, but only for a moment before stretching into a warmer, genuine grin. Kai, what trouble are you bringing in today? Me. Good trouble, probably. Kai nudges you playfully. The familiarity between the two gives you an immediate sense of ease. This is Mira, new customer, new tourist, new friend. Nice to meet you, Mira. Chris. Kai rests his elbow on the counter, half leaning against it as he jerks a thumb back in Chris's direction. Finest chef in this side of downtown. Chris gives Kai an appraising look, raising an eyebrow. Thanks, that's suspiciously high praise. You two know each other, I take it? Yeah, you could say that. Known you, what, 10 years now? You're how old again? We're the same age, Kai, but yeah, just about. Why? Wanted to see if I could shamelessly ask you to spot me a free meal. Chris's cheeks turn pink as he crosses his arms over his chest, trying to hide his smile behind a huff. You could try. He flashes Chris a cheeky grin, leaning forward on both his elbows. Kai rests his head on his hands, and it's obvious, even at a glance, that Chris isn't entirely put out by the question. How about if I hit you with a pretty please? That worked on Mare last week. Kai, she's 12. And? Fine. You heard the man. Order whatever you want, Mira. Morning's been rough on her. Car troubles. Chris gives you a sympathetic look. You respond with a small smile and shrug. I'm sorry to hear about that. Are you doing okay? Nothing a full stomach can't help. Glad to hear it. It's on Kai's tab, so feel free to order as much as you'd like, okay? Hold on. Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Chris huffs again, smiling fondly at Kai's played-up nervous grin. He grabs the menu, gesturing for you to follow him. Kai relents with a finger salute as his other hand reaches for the door. Don't be a stranger. Also, in the future, if you tell him Kai sent you, he'll give you 3 orders of hash browns on one big plate. I'll keep that in mind. Don't knock it until you try it. Go back to work. I'm going. Chris happily waves and you toss him a quick thanks before he leaves. You sit down in a booth near the counter. Your stomach decides to make its hunger known with a loud rumble. Chris, the kind soul, only lets out a small laugh as your cheeks burn. I'll give you a minute to look over the menu, then I'll be right back to take your order. All our portions are pretty big. You definitely won't be leaving hungry. He leaves you to it as you open the menu, turning around to check up on several tables, grab empty drink glasses, and keep light conversation. Somehow, he makes it look effortless. For all the stress of the day, you feel like you can finally relax, slumping into an airy booth seat. Let's see. Ooh, right. French toast, fish and chips, sandwich. We go with French toast. You're in the mood for something sweet. Fluffy French toast drenched in maple syrup it is then. You call Chris over once you've decided. He jolts it down and heads back to put in your order. As you wait, your gaze starts trailing around the diner. Other servers are quickly going back and forth to different tables every few minutes. Some tables are filled with lively families of all ages. Others have quiet single occupants sipping coffee while scrolling on their phones. Not strolling on their phones, they'll break it. Many customers seem well acquainted with each other as they pass by booths, greeting one another warmly. There are a few that stand out way too much to be locals. Then again, it is summer break, so you aren't surprised to see tourists around here. And here we are. Chris appears out of nowhere with your plate, smiling down at you. He places it in front of you with a smooch. With a smooth, not a smooch, with a smooth, practiced motion. You start to dig into your food, humming in delight at the delicious flavors hitting your tongue. But you stop when you see Chris slide into the seat across from you. Could be Chris. Kinda wanna maybe go for Andrew, don't know. Okay.
Go on. Don't mind me.
Right, I forgot about the voice acting. Okay, you can't really complain, considering he did get you a free meal, but this is certainly a new dining experience. Not that I mind, but do you always sit down to watch your customers eat? He laughs, to sound light and charming. Up close, you can see a splattering of freckles across his cheeks.
No, not usually. But Kai's told me to look out for you, so that's what I'm doing.
I can't stay long, but the part-timers can handle things until it's time for me to get back to the kitchen at least. You take a tentative second bite of your food. For all their teasing, it seems he and Kai are pretty close, if he's actually doing this. Or maybe that's just how people are here? Jean and Kai were extremely friendly in their own right too. Is everyone here this friendly? I appreciate the warm welcome. I really appreciate the way everyone's been looking out for me. You all have been so nice and welcoming.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. We all try to help each other out. And we do the same for newcomers.
Brine Bay has its ups and downs like any other city, but it's my home. I hope you enjoy it here. I think I will. His head jerks up at the sound of the bell at the counter ringing.
Sorry, I've got to get back to work. It was nice hanging out with you. Make sure to tell me how the food was later, alright?
Alright. It was French toast. Oh, and as promised, it's on me this time. Just close out the tab at the counter whenever you're done. He stands on the table, drumming his fingers on its surface as he leaves. I will, thanks. And like that, he's gone, his strawberry blonde hair bouncing as he rushes to the counter to greet customers. You turn back to your plate to dig in. The food's delicious, and as Chris said, the serving size is way more than enough. Before you know it, half of the meal is gone. You lean back against the booth with a full and happy stomach. After giving yourself a moment to relax from the meal, you get up to head over to the counter for a box. It'll make for a great dinner later on, at least. You notice Chris there too, holding a to-go bag and chatting with someone. Ah, his soft white hair is the first thing that catches your eye. He looks a bit uncomfortable, as if he stiffly stands there with a hand on his neck. He doesn't meet Chris's gaze either. It's good to see you, Vince. How's your practice going? Vince lets out a small sigh while rubbing his neck.
The day's barely started.
I know, but I figured I'd ask and check on you. A customer nearby calls for Chris. He puts the bag down onto the counter and offers a quick wave. Sorry, I've got to go. Enjoy your food. Gives a small wave back, watching Chris dash away. He lets out another small sigh and turns to reach for the bag. That's when his eyes meet yours. He freezes up, looking a bit startled at your presence. His mouth opens and closes a few times. He looks like he wants to say something, but is having a hard time deciding. I should probably say something so it doesn't get too awkward, right? Just You give him your best charming smile. Hey there, my name's Mira. I'm sort of acquainted with Chris, and this is my first time at this diner. I just had a really great lunch, thanks to him. Are you a regular here? Whatever you order smells amazing, by the way. Vince stares in surprise at your sudden introduction. But you must have done something right, judging by how his body relaxes a bit. His tense expression easing into an awkward smile.
Hello, I'm Vince. I wouldn't call myself a regular, but that guy, Chris, he usually greets me around this time of day.
So I guess I kind of am? I think you can kind of tell, but I'm a new visitor to Brine Bay. I ran into some rental car trouble, so I'm waiting for that to get
That
fixed.
sounds difficult. I'm sorry that happened.
It's okay. I've decided to make the best of my time here and take a proper look around. Actually, I was wondering if you had any recommendations for me. Are there any spots you like to go to often? I like the beach. I spend most of my time there feeding the crabs. Huh, that's the first time I've heard that. What do you feed them? Usually pieces of meat from my meal. I tear up some of the chicken or beef, and they really enjoy that. I'll be honest, I never expected crabs to like meat. They do. Not only that, but they enjoy eating dead bodies of other animals. He says the fact with such enthusiasm, you're taken aback a bit. Without him noticing, he's gotten closer to you with his hands moving animatedly as he talks. Your expression must have been more extreme than you thought, because Vince turns bright pink and takes several steps back. I mean, crabs are scavengers. It's not like they specifically look forward to eating dead bodies. And if you think about it, we also sort of do too, considering we eat stuff like burgers and fried chicken. He rambles on while looking down at his feet, becoming more and more embarrassed. His mouth snaps shut and he hunches over slightly, trying to look as small as possible.
Sorry. I'll be going now.
Before he can get a word in, he dashes over to the door. Vince, don't forget your food. Chris comes up from behind you with a hand on his hip. Vince freezes. He's already halfway through the door, standing there awkwardly for a few seconds. He slowly turns back around, trudging back to the counter with his gaze glued to the floor. He silently grabs the bag and takes his leave again, stiff as a board. You hear Chris let out a soft sigh. He turns to you, meeting your gaze. Is everything okay? I think so. We were talking about crabs, but I think I might have spooked them. No, I think you're fine. Sorry for leaving you two alone like that. Please don't take it to heart, by the way. Vince is just a bit... well, he's not a bad guy. All you can do is nod. He definitely didn't give off any weird or bad vibes. Chris helps you close your tab. He also hands you a pamphlet with the diner's address and number on it. Keep this on you. If you ever need a hearty meal and a place to relax, you're always welcome at Cup of Joe. It was nice to meet you, and I hope I'll see you again. You thank him with a warm smile, waving goodbye. Ah yes, that was Vince. That was the first one we romanced in the other video. Alright. Once you leave the diner, you notice the sun a lot higher in the sky now. You briefly check your phone and it just turned noon. With a full stomach and lighter mood, you decide to walk off your meal by getting a general look around your surroundings. The city has several places of interest you might check out later. There's an arcade, theater community center, and other entertainment spots. You walk past a group of people holding bags and baskets full of fresh produce. One woman carefully balances a stunning bouquet of sunflowers in one arm and bushel roses in the other. You turn to find the general direction of where they came from. It looks like there might be something worth visiting. There are rows of stalls lined up with all sorts of different handmade goods and produce being sold. From the looks of it, you stumble into a bustling farmer's market. You decide to follow the crowd, walking down the road between stalls. You can do it, honey. We just need a few more things and then we're good to go. More? I thought that was the last of it. You watch as a couple struggles to pull a handcart filled to the brim with fruits and vegetables. The one not pulling huffs, putting her hands on her hips and offering to take her partner's place. She only takes a couple of steps forward before coming to a complete stop, cheeks red and out of breath. Hey, watch out for the equipment. You jolt and quickly move out of the way as a new voice pops up in front of you. A quick sweep of your surroundings shows a single tripod standing at least an arm's length away. Perched on top of it is a sleek black digital camera that looks like it costs more than a month's worth of rent. He clears his throat and you turn on your heel, coming face to face with a man bearing a menacing glare. The man shakes his head as if you knocked over the gear. Oh, is that it? I'm not that close to it, but you're getting close, and that's close enough. It's important. His arms are crossed tightly over his chest, tapping a foot impatiently. He looks like he's about to continue his scolding session with a vengeance. The guy screams trouble and maybe even a possible street fight if things go south. You mumble an apology before quickly turning to leave. In your hurry, you actually bump into something this time with a loud crushing sound. Crumbs sprinkle all over you on the floor. You look up to see a woman holding what used to be an intact box of crisp cookies. She's also covered in cookie debris, staring blankly at the mess between you two. I'm sorry. Your apology is cut short when she heaves a heavy sigh and puts both hands up in front of her. It's fine. It was on a company card. It's fine. You can't even get a word in as she speed walks away, all the while murmuring something under her breath. That sure was something. You're left dumbfounded, covered in cookie crumbs. You take a moment to recollect yourself before starting to brush them off.
Are you doing okay? That was a pretty messy accident. I've got a towel if you need it.
It is Andrew. You look behind you, finding a man casually leaning over the aisle with a clean towel in one of his hands. Did you see all of that? He gives you a bemused smile, gesturing for you to come over. Sure did. I'm pretty sure everyone that wasn't busy witnessed that. But let's get you out of the line of fire before another accident happens. He extends the towel towards you, and you take it with a grateful nod. As you start to wipe away the rest of the crumbs, he turns back to his easel. I think it's easel. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. He starts scratching away with a black crayon on the sketch pad. You're not from around here, huh? Was it that obvious? Every local knows not to get distracted in the farmer's market. It's a war zone out there if you're not careful. Well, I think I've learned my lesson very clearly now. He chuckles at your dry tone and puts the crayon down.
It might not have been the best experience, but I've got to thank you for being my newest muse.
He picks up the sketch pad, turning it to show you. It's a messy but adorable portrait of you covered in crumbs. The style reminds you of something you've seen before, but you can't put your name to it. This is so cute. I definitely don't look that adorable while I've got this mess on me, but thanks.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
He smiles sheepishly and tears off the sheet to hand to you.
Here, I want you to have this. I hope it might cheer you up a bit after the cookie incident.
He makes air quotes with his fingers at the last part and a laugh bubbles up from you. Thanks, I'm glad it was some form of entertainment to the locals. You notice a small signature on the top right corner of the paper. It reads A. Mitchell in a similarly messy hand. What's the A stand for? It's Andrew.
Actually.
Oh.
Andrew Mitchell. Feel free to just call me Andrew now.
I think I fucked up on that same spot last time too. Well, you're a great artist, Andrew. And Mira, is this something you do for a living? His eyes widen at first, but he laughs it off softly and shakes his head. Nope, I'm glad you think I'm good enough to earn a living off of it, but I work over there. He points at a bookstore several shops down. I run Book Hook most of the time, but I like to take a break every once in a while.
Oh,
Actually, I'm out here trying to advertise the event happening at my shop tomorrow. What's it for? It's a promotion for the 25th anniversary of the official release of Trials of Tempest. I've got a new reprint coming to my shelf soon. I figured it'd be a good way to get people to stop by the shop. Now that he mentions it, his style is reminiscent of the original book cover art for the series. You glance down at the other sketches he's taken out of the sketchpad that are laid around his feet. They all bear a similar look to them, design-wise. He's clearly inspired by the art of Trials with its unique light hand strokes and cross-hatching shading. His personal twist uses crayon, giving it a chalky outline to everything. I really like the series. Oh, no wonder your art style seems familiar. I read a lot of this series growing up. If I get the chance to, I'll try to stop by and take a look around. Andrew blinks owlishly at your response. He glances down at his easel, brushing his hands over his lap. He takes a moment to collect himself before turning to fish a flyer out of the tote bag by the foot of his easel. That'd be great, honestly. Thanks for offering to visit. If you want to chat again, you can walk right in or call the store. The address and number is on the flyer. A loud bang of what sounds like fireworks startles you both. You turn your head to where the sound came from and notice a large crowd gathering around something nearby. Looks like the afternoon show's about to get started. Oh, huh. Do you know what it's about? The local theater company, Real Dramatics, hosts an annual fundraiser talent show every summer. You don't have to be in a company to participate, by the way. Locals can sign up and give it a go. I'd volunteer, but I don't think anyone wants to watch a guy paint for over an hour. Trust me, the performances are something you don't want to miss. That sounds really exciting. I'll have to go check that out. Thanks again for the towel and the flyer. I should get going. No worries. Keep heading east and you'll end up at the beach. Got it. I'll see you around. He waves at you as you make your way down the street towards the beach. You arrive to find the crowd gathering by a stage. Music starts to blast on the speakers with a super lively and catchy tune. The symphony of electric guitar, piano, and drums has everyone bobbing their heads and clapping along with the beat. You want to get a better view, so you make your way through the crowd, looking up at the stage when the crowd starts to cheer. 3 people strut up on the stage. The man in the middle is hard to miss, with that electrifying green hair and his dark tank top that shows off his fit body. He blows a kiss and you hear a swarm of fans squeal with glee. Somehow, you find yourself front and center of the crowd. You lock eyes with the main singer. He smoothly slides across the stage with quick and graceful footwork as he sings along with the 2 backup singers behind him. I want to check something. Let's see if this makes it better for me or not. It might not, is the fucking funny part. Oops. Let's see if this works better. He smoothly slides across the stage with quick and graceful footwork as he sings along with the 2 backup singers behind him. And he says he's the Rizzler with the most Riz of all. The lyrics sound familiar. You recognize his lyrics. How could you not when they were being blasted in your dorm nearly every day? As ridiculous as it sounds, you can't help but start singing along. It's not your fault the song is good. You find yourself sidestep dancing as you sing louder and louder. You startle as the main singer hops off the stage and waltzes through the audience. He does amazing crowd work as he high-fives people, waves at them, winks, and occasionally stops to make them sing along into the mic. That's when he locks eyes with you again, amidst a throng of adoring fans. He smoothly makes it over to you, never missing a beat as he does. He probably notices you sing along while he was on stage because he finishes the last line and moves the mic in front of you. Now everyone's eyes are on you. What are you going to do? Show off. It's your time to shine. You've had plenty of practice doing karaoke nights with friends, so you're ready. You lean in and start singing into the mic alongside him. You might not hit every note, but you're absolutely rocking it. You notice his eyes twinkle happily as he sings. It twinkles happily at you as he sings. His grin is contagious, and you feel yourself grinning back. The 2 of you harmonize pretty well, and the crowd absolutely loves it. Your spotlight moment ends as soon as he steps away and moves to another person nearby. He does this with a couple more people before he leaps back onto the stage. The music swells as he and the backup singers all strike a unique pose at the final note. A flash of sparklers rain from the stage to finish the show. Turns out that the saxophone doesn't save me. I just suck at this.
Thank you! Thank you! My name's Kevin Zuno, and these 2 awesome performers with me are Zoe and Mika.
Real Dramatics' annual summer talent show fundraiser wouldn't be possible without all your support. An extra big shout out to all of our fans that came today. He throws a deadly combo of a wink and kiss to the crowd below. Swarms of fans waving posters and signs with Kevin's face on them shriek and jump happily. These funds will go to our community theater to keep everything up and running. Not only that, it'll keep our class prices low and help fund performances abroad. He makes a grand sweeping gesture at the booths on either side of the stage. If you're interested in donating, please check out the booths after the show. Now that that's out of the way, give it up for our new act. We've got some wicked breakdancers ready to flex their skills. Applause roars from the crowd once more before Kevin bows and leaves the stage. You watch him move through the throng of people and, to your complete surprise, heads straight for you. He stops in front of you, giving you a sheepish grin.
Hey there! Thanks for watching our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, I wanted to say thanks for being such a good sport while I was doing crowd work. You might have heard earlier, but I'm Kevin. What's your name?
I did, but it's nice to meet you again. I'm Mira. And I really liked the performance, yeah. It's my first time at such a high-energy talent act. Kevin smirked, stucking his thumb and finger under his chin.
Well, you are talking to one of Brine Bay's biggest stars.
Like this or like this? I don't know. Oh, it's only natural that my fans would come out to support me. Oh, whoa, really? Nah. His smirk widens at your blank stare. But I do have a decent following. I'm a pretty big deal in the online theater scene. Oh, really now? Or are you bluffing again?
Hey!
This time it's for real. I've got at least 10k followers on here. He takes his phone out and rapidly taps away on the screen. Before you can get a word in, he faces it towards you. A muted video is playing on the screen, showing various cuts of him performing on different stages. You note the amount of likes and comments on the video. He definitely isn't lying about his popularity, at least. You mentally jot down his username, Daryl Kev, to look up later. Careful now, he'll scroll on his page for hours if you don't stop him. Kevin and you look up from his phone to find a man standing a few feet away. He's so pretty, but he's so posh. I don't know if I can... Well, I'm going to romance all of them, but JoJo character, Dio asks, no, he doesn't look like Dio. But I can see the JoJo character thing that you mean. Is it because he's dressed like nicer? I don't know. He's so posh. I don't know. He could easily be mistaken for a model with his looks, or a JoJo character. Long, wavy, light brown hair frames a handsome face, and thin-framed glasses do nothing to hide his pretty brown eyes.
Oh?
Well, if it isn't my biggest fan, I didn't know the mayor of Brine Bay had the time to visit a humble performer like me. Kevin makes a grand show of greeting him with a deep bow. The man's cheek tinged pink as he coughs into his fist. Play along. You can tell right away that Kevin's messing with you again. But for some reason, you feel like playing along with his little joke. You sure do know a lot of people in high places. Please ignore him. I could never be the mayor, really. My family just happens to be quite involved with the local development of Brine Bay. We own some real estate. It's nothing to brag about, but let's move on from that. Well, I'll be honest. When Kevin said you were the mayor, I already knew he was bluffing. Oh, what gave it away? I doubt any mayor dresses that fashionably. He runs a hand through his hair before flipping it elegantly. You have a good eye. Perhaps I could wear khakis next time to properly fool everyone. As if you'd ever walk out of the house wearing that. I could make it work with a bit of tailoring here and there.
Well,
Anyway, I have a moment to myself after a few meetings, so I decided to come and watch the talent show. But while I was trying to listen to the next act, I couldn't quite pay attention with someone loudly bragging about himself. Really, Kevin, you have plenty of fans already. I'm sure she can be spared. You're just jealous. You don't mind, right? He throws on his best puppy eyes look, and you can't help but snort in response. Kevin sighs dramatically at your lack of agreement. He shrugs with a grin and pulls out his lips. Okay, I got the message loud and clear. I'll leave you to be. I've got to head over to help out at the booths anyway. Enjoy the rest of the show. Hit me up later if you want to talk some more. He gives a big bow to you and then blows a kiss to the man. The man rolls his eyes as you wave goodbye. Kevin disappears into the crowd, leaving you two alone. Without Kevin's bubbly energy filling the space, you both fall into a comfortable silence. The next act is mesmerizing to watch as a team of acrobats slip and leap smoothly across the stage. It amazes me how flexible some people can be. You can say that again. My bones creak every time I get up from the chair. He snorts, his shoulders slightly shaking from trying not to laugh out loud as you grin at him. You somehow end up making a brief commentary here and there with him on the different performances. You don't even notice how fast time goes by until the last act finishes and you see the theater company director is on the stage. He quickly introduces himself before thanking everyone for their attendance and donations. You clap along with everyone as the theater crew takes a bow. The director bids everyone a good night, signaling the end of the show. People begin dispersing and leaving the venue as the sun starts to set, tinting everything with a soft orange glow. The talent this year was even better than the last. What did you think of it as a newcomer? I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I definitely think I need something like this to start off my vacation right. I wish I had been here last year too, if that's how every talent show goes. If anything, I'm glad my car decided to break down in this city of all places. I think there's plenty of interesting things that will keep me busy here. His brow furrows and he offers a sympathetic smile.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Where were you driving from? Wait, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I never even introduced myself properly this whole time. My name is Wyatt. I usually am on top of things like this, but I suppose I had a few very good distractions keeping my mind busy. His lip pulls into a flirtatious smile and leans in closer. He extends a hand out to you, and you feel a bit flustered at the direct eye contact. I'm a business manager first and foremost, but I do dabble here and there depending on my interests and whenever I have the time. You shake his hand, surprised at how soft and gentle his skin feels. Then again, everything about this man screams luxury, so you're not surprised he has a good skincare routine. He hands you a light beige business card embossed with thin gold borders and floral details.
Oh.
And I don't think I caught your name. I'm sorry. It's Mira. It's never too late for introductions, I think. It's nice to meet you, Wyatt. If you romance him, he'll show you the world. Oh my god. Ma'am, you busy as fuck. You're just flirting with the singer. What do you mean? I wasn't. I was being polite. Likewise, Mr. Wyatt, there you are. You both look over to find the woman approaching with a big grin on her face. You instantly recognize her from Kevin's performance as one of the backup singers, Zoe. She bows in greeting, looking back at Wyatt while practically bouncing with joy. Thank you so much for showing up today. We couldn't have done all of this without your help. We raised enough to meet several of our major funding goals. We're so grateful for you organizing this venue and everything else for us. Wyatt turns to Zoe with a small smile on his lips.
Oh.
There's no need to thank me. Valerie was the one that initiated this plan as a pet project. But still, we wouldn't have been able to fully afford all the equipment and everything without you two. I'd love to thank Miss Chantel too, but I can't find her. I'm sure she's around here somewhere. I sent her on a quick errand but haven't heard back so far. His eyes widen and he turns back to you. I'm sorry about that. We were in the middle of a conversation. Oh no, it's okay. You seem to have a lot going on, so it's no problem. Oh geez, I'm sorry for cutting into your conversation like that. It's alright, Zoe. I need to find Valerie anyway, so why don't we go together? It was a pleasure talking to you, Mira. I hope we can talk again sometime. Sure thing. It was nice meeting you. The two leave as Zoe continues to chat happily to a relatively quiet Wyatt. You look around, noticing several theater crew cleaning the venue. After all that energy, you find yourself a little grateful at the calm and quiet of things settling down for the day. You make a cursory glance around you, though. Given how the day's been, you expect another random encounter with someone else. Minutes pass by without anything new. You breathe out a small sigh of relief. Well, I guess that's it for today. Maybe it's time to head back to the inn to rest. You start your trek back while enjoying the sight of the sunset on the horizon and the calm waves gently washing up against the sand. Walking took a little longer than you thought, but thankfully, the lovely weather made it pretty enjoyable. Just as you make it back to the inn's parking lot, you notice a familiar car parked by the front. When you get closer, you also notice Jean standing by the passenger side, quietly talking to someone in the car. And to your surprise, you see Vince sitting in the passenger seat looking a bit nervous as he bites his lip. Jean looks up when he hears your footsteps and smiles at you. Hey there, did you have a good time? I think so. I got to meet a lot of new faces today and see some interesting things. I hope you don't mind me asking, but is there trouble at the inn? Is a passenger in trouble? It looks like you've got someone in your patrol car. Did they get in some sort of trouble? Jean shakes his head. I know what this might look like, but no one's getting arrested here. He just looks like that whenever he sits in my car. I'm here because I wanted to check on you. I was driving Vince back home and figured I'd drop by real quick. You hear a small groan from the window, from the open window. You look over and see Vince sinking into his chair with his hands over his face. Jean glances between you two, slowly raising a brow. He puts a hand on his hip and watches you with a curious twinkle in his eyes. Do you two know each other? You glance back at Vince. He's staring right back at you, looking like a lost puppy. You want to answer for him to help him out, but he heaves a sigh and turns to Jean. Remember what you've been telling me for the past few days about doing the thing? Ah, okay, I see where this is going. I tried doing it today. I tried talking to more people. But I ended up talking about crabs eating dead bodies to Mira, who was just trying to talk to me. So now I'm goth weirdo that's obsessed with crabs. Not that either are bad things, crabs are great. Being goth is cool. Oh god, I'm doing it again. He mumbles an apology behind his hand. Jean snorts before reaching over to give Vince's shoulder a squeeze. Jean leans in close, his expression softening. Hey, you did really well. I'm proud of you for trying. You watch Vince slowly drop his hands to reveal a small, hopeful smile pulling at his lips. After they share a little moment together, Jean turns his attention back to you. How are the car repairs going? Both Kai and I have been busy, so I can't get the chance to talk to him. It's going to take a while, since we need at least a few days to even get the right parts for the car. Jean's handsome face scrunches into a frown and his shoulders slump with disappointment. I'm really sorry to hear about that. For what it's worth, I'll give you my number in case you need anything while you're stuck here. He pulls out a pen and notepad from his utility belt. Do all sharers just hand this out to anyone? It's my personal work phone, and I think it's always good to have at least one contact to help when you're stranded in some random town. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'd feel a bit better knowing you can contact me directly if you need to. Now that sounds kind of ominous. Should I be worried about anything going on in Brine Bay? John's eyes widen and he blinks in surprise at the question. He quickly shakes his head. No, it's a great town and fairly safe, I promise. I didn't mean to scare you like that, sorry. I just like to be careful. It never hurts to be vigilant, especially in my line of work. You nod as he tears a page and hands it to you. You glance down, reading his number scrawled on top with his name, Sheriff John Williams, right underneath. Actually, it doesn't have to be just me in your contacts. Vince has plenty of free time. If you ever need someone to hang out with, I think he'd be able to make it, right, Vince? Jean turns to Vince, who rapidly looks between Jean and you like a deer caught in the headlights. He seems to consider it for a bit before he slowly nods. So should I give you my number or do you give me yours? He pulls out his phone from his pocket, but nearly drops it with shaky hands. He murmurs something under his breath, making sure he has a firm grip on it this time. His awkwardness is pretty adorable. You definitely wouldn't mind hanging out with him if given the chance. How about I text you instead? He seems to prefer that idea as he quickly nods with a small, thankful smile. Jean grins at your little interaction and straightens his back, looking content with his work. He writes down Vince's number with the name Vince Matador on another page before handing it to you. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I just wanted to check on you before heading home for peace of mind. Again, if you need anything, feel free to call or text me or Vince. Good night. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. Good night to you too. He circles around the car, getting back into the driver's side. The car starts up and Vince gives you a small wave as they drive away. You head into the inn, finding Dante hunched over at his desk, thinking away out at something. He raises his head at your approaching footstep, nodding when you smile at him. Hey, how was exploring? It went pretty well. I met plenty of people today. Plans have changed and I'll be staying here for at least a few more days. Sure thing. I have your card on file, so I'll just charge it until you check out. Stay as long as you need. The inn's not going anywhere. Great, thanks. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. He murmurs good night to you, already engrossed in whatever he was doing before. After a nice long shower, you get into a comfortable pair of pajamas ready to settle into bed for the night. But before that, you pull out Andrew's drawing of you from your bag and tape it to the wall near your bed. I really did mean it when I said he should look into pursuing art for a career. It's super cute and unique. When you're content with the placement, you pull the blanket out and hop into bed. You let out a content sigh at the way you sink into the mattress. Now that you're all cozy, you pull out your phone for your nightly bedtime scrolling. But instead of opening your usual apps, you pull up the contacts list. Today sure was eventful. Look at all these new contacts I have. Let me save here. Cause now I've met everyone. So Turquoise parts today come out of K-pop factory. What's in the water in the sound? What do you mean? Or give me the number of mechanic, Mr. Officer. Oh, I do have the number of the mechanic already. The mechanic just has to wait for the parts, so there's no point in calling him. Unless I want to call him, I'd say the one that was the most memorable meeting was. So, first video, we went with Vince. Very cute, very nice. Andrew owns the bookstore, Kevin is a singer, Wyatt is JoJo character, Chris is the owner of the diner, I think, Kai is the mechanic, and Jean is the sheriff. No. I think Andrew. Let's go to the bookstore. You glance over at the sketch on your wall. He's a talented artist and definitely could make a living out of it if he wanted to. Then again, you remember how quickly he denied your comment about that. He doesn't seem that confident in his work. I hope more people recognize him for it. At least he seems to be using it to help his business. His promotion method is a little unconventional, but seems to work considering how you're thinking of going to his bookstore. Actually, he looked really surprised when I said I might go. Does he not get a lot of customers? You wonder what sort of relationship he might have around town. From the interaction you share with him, Andrew seems like the type that has plenty of friends. The fact that he offered a random stranger a towel and free art tells you a lot about him. He's the type to have many friends in many places with how nice he is. You hope you can meet them too. Andrew's an interesting guy with a slightly mysterious side, so maybe you will drop by his bookstore to get to know him better. You set your phone down, feeling a hint of excitement for the next few days. You got to meet quite a diverse cast, so who knows what might happen. With a content sigh, you succumb to sleep and drift off into your dreams. We go to the bookstore, which is still kind of in line with the first video because I went to the bookstore in the first video too. Who should I talk to today? Alright, this is Park. This is a diner. And beach. Alright, so the first day I went to the park. How about we go to the diner? Let's go. So make it a little different. Considering the last 24 hours, it's no surprise you woke up as late as you did. And again, it's always a gamble what sleeping in the new place will do. It seems this time the roulette wheel landed on waking up just after the complimentary breakfast was put away. The last thing you wanted to do right now was have to think too hard about food, so your mind went right to the only place you knew. One morning routine and walk through the town later, you're here at Cup of Joe Mama's again. Pushing open the door, you're greeted by the syrupy sweet smell of pancakes and Chris's bright voice. Good morning, welcome to Cup of Joe Mama's. Dual-wielding 5 coffee cups on each hand doesn't deter him from turning to greet you. Recognition flashes across his face and he pauses in his tracks. Mira, it's nice to see you again. So soon. Well, that's a significant warmer welcome than you've ever gotten. Chris seems to mean it too, his freckled face lighting up with a smile. The only thing missing from the picture is a tail wagging behind him. He must be a morning person. Hey, Chris. Behind him, he's You can clearly see the remnants of a very busy morning. Every table was piled high with dishes and glasses, with a few lingering customers taking up the only clean ones. Chris, seeing your eyes wander, laughs.
I just missed the breakfast rush. Here, is a seat at the counter okay?
Yeah? Sure, thank you. He happily shows you over, dumping the empty mugs he was carrying into a wash basin and clearing off the space in no time. You take a seat on the plush but slightly creaky stool as Chris slides a menu your way. I don't know why those word combinations were just not happening for my brain. Feel free to order whatever you like, obviously, but I have it on good authority that the chef makes a mean French toast. Ah! What about a nice French toast? Is it gluten-free? That's tempting. Maybe? Is extra whipped cream nice? Chris lifts the basin he was filling up to waist height. Everything inside clings together loudly, and you can't help but think it must be heavy. I'm not sure if that was like a good response or a bad response. I was trying to be funny, which doesn't always work. The friendly waiter doesn't seem to mind it, shifting only to adjust his grip. Take your time and look things over. I'll be back in a jiffy. Looking down through the menu, you're left with the ever-important decision of how to break your fast. Unlike the menu you got last time, this one is homely. It seems to be printed and laminated by hand, and while most of the items are fairly standard, there's a section that's solely handwritten. Next to a cute depiction of an otter is a mix of ornate swirling loops, tiny chicken scratch, and big yet uncertain letters belonging to child's hand. Julian Autumn Reds with sweetened cream whipped to perfection. $300. The super egg, 6 egg yolks, 6 egg whites mixed into one giant egg. It's good. Free bagel 1. Chris returns is heralded by a loud exhale. You look up just in time to see him clipping his bangs back, smiling once a few unruly curls are out of his eyes. Even as he's hiding it well, it's clear the very busy morning must have taken a lot out of him. Taking out his notebook and pen, Chris meets your gaze with a renewed energy. Phew, so did you get a chance to look over the menu? I did. And a French toast, I guess? Wait, what was the... what was it? The super egg. 6 yolks and 6 eggs white. Julian Autumn Reds with sweetened cream whip. Okay. Well, that's not an option. So I guess just the French toast. Chris perks up. Great. Turning around, he slides the ticket into the kitchen through the open window. When he faces you again, he busies himself with tidying up the rest of the counter, sliding used dishware into basins and refilling syrup trays. Busy morning? What's with the otter? Ooh. I mean, we're not doing his route yet, so I can fuck up. What's with the otter? Oh, that's the diner's mascot. Cute, right? Chris stops cleaning to lean over the counter, picking up another menu to look at it with you. I'm glad you can tell it's an otter. Catherine, my little sister, she would probably cry if she heard another person calling it a gopher. It's unmistakable. Look at that seashell. Totally otter. So that to, what is it, 50% of Brine Bay? We're having a naming contest for it, actually. Again. Chris sighs, placing the menu back. This time, we're ruling out some obvious contenders. I thought we could name it Joe, but my sister says it'll get confusing because that's our mom's name. So off to public opinion. If you come up with anything great, I'll write it down. I'll be sure to let you know. Enough about me. How about you? I know you're not exactly in town by choice, but if you need any recommendations on places to go, Hot plate, behind. The doors of the kitchen swings open, and a strikingly familiar tall brunette woman barrels through. One hand balancing the aforementioned hot plate and the other spread right in front of her to keep her balance. It doesn't do much good. Her foot strikes the counter of the cabinet hard enough to shake your water glass, and she... I'm okay. catches herself, just barely. You can't help but sigh in relief while the woman slides the plate right in front of you with a flourish. One order of French toast, fresh out of the kitchen. Even with how relaxed she is, behind her, Chris has gone white as a sheet. He gives a shaky exhale, burying his face in his hands. Sierra, please, walk. Each measured word comes out with a heavy serving of desperation. I was walking, with purpose.
Can't afford to replace more plates.
Oh. You're struck by how commonplace he makes it sound. More importantly, though, you recognize the woman and she gives you an apologetic smile. She was at the market yesterday, you think. Sorry about that. I know you didn't pay for dinner and a show, but considering that on the house, welcome on in. I'm Sierra. Thanks. Are you sure you're okay? Of course, I stumble all the time. Chris visibly cringes. A bell over the door means more customers though, so Chris shakes his head and puts on his customer service face. To your surprise though, he instantly relaxes instead of just offering a casual wave. 3 blonde girls meet Chris's wave with varying levels of enthusiasm. A cool nod, a big wave, and a shy bending of fingers. Hey, what are you 3 doing here? We got this cry cut working? We got the cry cut working. Cry cut? Mia was begging to come show you. Oh? The 3 girls all crowd around the counter. Chris comes around, decide to meet them, kneeling slightly to get closer to the littlest girl. Mia? Height. Is that true? A single firm nod. Chris ruffles her hair and stands back up straight. I'm going to watch them, so no worries if you're busy. You don't mean to stare, but you do, and the middlest girl locks eyes with you. Even if you try to save face, she's immediately at your side. Hey! Reaching into her pocket, she produces a sticker. No, with a flick of the wrist, a fan of stickers. And all of them are otters. An otter biker, an otter princess, an otter on a circus ball, an otter with a hula hoop. Interested in a little sticky business? Oh my god. Oh my god, Mer. I'm sorry, please ignore her. She thinks she's hilarious. She's funny. Cause I am. See, Sierra thinks I'm funny. This Mer swings around to point at Sierra, who's hiding a giggle behind her hand. Mira, these are my sisters. The sweet one here is Mia, and the other 2 already picking a fight with each other are Meredith and Catherine. Nice to meet you all. Toffers? This is Mira. Be nice to her, please. Yeah, whatever. You're Mira? No, now you're part of the sticker squad. Pick one. Meredith spreads out the stickers again before you. You look over your options and give Chris one last appraising glance. He only shrugs. Rainbow dress otter, bike helmet otter, otter with a glowing sword. I'm not really a sticker person. I want biker otter. You don't know if you've ever used badass and otter in the same sentence before, but you really could for this one. After you take the biker sticker, Meredith slams the fan of stickers closed again and shoves them in her pocket. Heh, you have good taste. She gives her eldest sister a smirk from over her shoulder. Told you it was the coolest one, Kath. Oh, so this is how I gain favor with the siblings, I see. Catherine rolls her eyes. Sierra extends a hand, a silent but instantly understood gesture that makes Meredith turn and offer a sticker to her. I take it the 3 of you were with Ming? She chooses an otter in a clown outfit. Lucky guess. Catherine glances at you. She fixes her hair slightly as she continues, happy to be the one to clue you in on anything you're missing. Me and Sierra's partner. They're really into stickers. Oh, I saw her with Sierra at the farmer's market yesterday. You both were struggling with a cart full of produce, right? Oh, that's where I saw Sierra. Yep, that was us. I might have gone a little overboard on the berries, but they're perfectly ripe this time of year. Min's a sucker for my strawberry and blueberry pie, so it's a win-win. And we're advertising, so Min says we can put the stickers in as a tax write-off. Advertising? What exactly? And also, just a little aside, that's tax fraud for sure. Advertising the diner, obviously. All these otters are our mascot, kind of. Kind of doesn't hold up in court. Look, Christopher, I've done a lot of research on this, so I think I can safely say I know more than you. Guerrilla marketing is the future, and these stickers are our time machine. She means Did she mean guerrilla? We were going to do something grander, actually. Catherine speaks up, trying to coolly add to her sister's point in a way that sounds educated and calm, but her non-stop fidgeting makes you think she's feeling a little vulnerable. We can't afford to do the big campaigns like the Quigleys, but, well, we were thinking of starting with some flyers, at least, and Kai and Kevin know a place to get shirts printed. We want to help out, you know? Again, I think a white shirt with the logo on it would slap. I'm just saying. Chris's hand finds its way to the back of his neck, where he rubs it as he tries to figure out how to respond. He was adamant that the busy morning was good despite the clear evidence that it must have been a lot to deal with. For his three sisters to start a big advertising sprint on their own... You're right, yeah, it is a good idea. The three girls visibly relax. Chris picks up a sticker and gives it once over, turning it in his hands.
They are really nice. Just make sure you don't put them anywhere they shouldn't be, okay? No sticking them on people.
No sticking them on people and no sticking them on, like, cars and stuff. He has a Pokeball badge and an LGBTQ badge, or is that a flag as well? It's a Pokemon, I'm guessing, not trademarked Pokemon, badge, a moon, and a trans flag. What if it's a Quigley? No Quigleys either, promise. I'll keep an eye on them, don't worry. Nope, you too. Promise me there will be no sabotaging the Quigleys. What? I wouldn't. Why would I even? You don't trust me? Meanwhile, the youngest of the trio is wringing her hands together, staring at the floor. Oh no, does she stick it on? Besides you, Sierra is the next to notice. With a loud exclamation, she picks up one of the stickers from Meredith, prompting a small hey that she ignores. Whoa, is this the rainbow dress otter? That gets everyone in the diner's attention, even Mia, who looks up at Sierra with big round eyes like saucers. No way, this is the rarest one, isn't it? It sure is. Not just anyone can have it. Really? Dang. Sierra kneels down close to Mia, showing her the sticker. Hey Mia, can I have this one? It takes all of her courage, but Mia gives a nod. Her sadness melts into a bashful giggle. Oh, she's sad because no one took her sticker. Yeah, okay. Oh no! After all the ruckus, the three girls and Sierra, who was in desperate need of a break, left the diner. There's somehow even more energy in their steps as they go, excited to begin their new project. Chris leans against the counter next to you, his eyes fondly following the gleeful little group. You watch them too, until Chris suddenly jumps up, somewhat flustered. Sorry, your breakfast must be cold by now. I can make you a new plate. No, that's fine. Alright, thanks to all the commotion, your food is entirely untouched. There's something, aren't they? It must be tiring. It must be nice having three younger sisters. I can start wearing a signboard around town to help advertise. I could wear a signboard. What? A signboard? At first you're worried he's put off by the joke, but then laughter bubbles up and escapes him. He takes a moment to get to his bearings. Well, if you're willing, we won't turn down a volunteer. Meredith would love it. If it helps, I can get a full costume going, like the mascot, or a dancing French toast. That's pretty good. It's too bad you won't be in town for too long. What'll we do with the signboard once you go? You could wear it. He picks up your plate, trying to stop himself from laughing again. Yeah, maybe. I have a friend I can ask for some dance lessons. Have you ever seen an otter breaking it down? What you would give to see that. Chris takes your plate away. Soon enough, you get a new plate in front of you. You're certain he piled on some extra food. You look up to Chris the next time you can, and he gives you a little wave and a thumbs up. Where should I go now? What are my options? Bookstore, which is where we're gonna go. Garage, theater, diner. Alright. Oh, I leave the diner just to turn around and go right back in. No. We need an otter video. Otter cosplay win. Let's go to the bookstore. On this fine Saturday afternoon, you find yourself making your way towards Book Hook, the town's resident bookstore. Andrew had mentioned that there would be an event going on after all, and it's not often that you happen across bookstores celebrating official releases anniversaries. Your curiosity compels you to check it out. Trials of Tempest is pretty popular, I think. I wonder how big this event will be. It's still a Sunday afternoon, sure, and it's probably a pretty small bookstore, but you're still hopeful that there'll be a decent turnout, if only for the sake of Andrew's unconventional but creative advertising methods. Your expectations are immediately proven too low, however, upon your arrival at your destination. A sizable signboard propped on top of an easel sounds pride of place outside the bookstore. The words Trial of Tempest 25th Anniversary displayed across it in bold lettering. Artistic swirls and flares adorn the sign in playful splashes. Playful splashes, not playful smashes. You'd think you even spot a smiley face. People bustle in and out of the store in excited screams, some carrying armfuls of what look to be collector's editions of the celebrated series, while others happily clutch small stickers and buttons. There are bright smiles, animated chatter, and cheerful laughter. It's obvious even from outside that the event is a hit. Alright, into the fray we go. You square your shoulders and head into the crowd. You barely manage to squeeze inside with all the tumult, but in the end, you make it through in one piece. You're instantly greeted by a hubbub of sound and activity. Bookshelves have been adorned with colorful paper-cut decorations, ranging from streamers to dolls to origami. Small pop-up booths have been squeezed into every available open space. A gaggle of kids cluster together in a reading circle with their parents. The current storyteller is in the middle of voicing an angry, huffy warrior, and judging by the children's shrieks of laughter, they're doing an excellent job. However, it's not long before you realize that you're blocking the doorway. You tear your gaze away from the sights and hastily move aside. It's then that you see a red blur rushing past you. Andrew, you quickly realize. He's carrying a load of cardboard boxes, each precariously stacked on top of the other. Sorry for the wait. He hurries towards one of what looks like to be his part-time workers, judging by the cardboard name tag hung around their neck, and lowers himself to hand off one of the topmost boxes. The sack wobbles dangerously as he bends his knee, and the part-timer quickly swipes one from the top of the pile. He moves to rush off, and then a box wobbles and teeters, and you catch a look of almost comical horror in his wide eyes before you dart in to save the day. Catching it in between you, Andrew and a scurrying pair of kids that barrel beneath your outstretched arms. Mira, the greeting is loud and enthusiastic, with not a small amount of surprise and relief. Andrew blinks as if he too is taken aback by the fervor of his greeting, then gives you a mildly self-conscious grin.
Hey.
You came! Thanks for the save. That could have been a disaster. Welcome to Trials of Tempest 25th Anniversary Celebration. What do you think so far? Oh wait, I'll be right with you as soon as I drop these off. Want some help getting there? We can't risk another mishap. You shift your grip on the box in your arms as Andrew hesitates. After a moment, he nods to himself, seeming to have come to a decision, and speaks. Well, that would be a lot of help. Thank you. If you're sure it's not a bother, I'd appreciate it. He smiles at you, and you eye the remaining stack in his arms. Offer to split the load. If you're alright with it, we could split the rest. We'd have an easier time getting through it if we share. Oh no, it's fine. You've already got one. That already helps a ton. Are you sure? This time, he's much more insistent. Yep. He attempts to give the side of the bottommost box a hefty pat, only to scramble to correct his grip when the stack wobbles threateningly. Like I said, it's all good. I could use someone to help me navigate traffic though. Wouldn't want to accidentally steamroll someone. As you navigate among the throngs of people, you both chat as you deliver the box to their respective part-timers. It's only been a few hours since we opened, 10 a.m., but we're already running out of free merchandise. I'm starting to think that I might have majorly underestimated how many people were going to come out. Why is that? You got the feeling that Andrew would have shrugged if it weren't for his current encumberment status. Bookhook has always been run as an independent. I expected locals to drop by, but I didn't think people from other towns and cities would actually come over. I kind of thought it might have been a long shot with how old the series is. It's possible that someone posted it online and it made its round, though that would explain the crowd. He steers past a rack of postcards that, at a passing glance, seem to depict various locations around Brine Bay. A group of people are crowded around it. He catches your glance and smiles. Brine Bay was a reference for the protagonist's hometown. It's sort of an open secret among die-hard fans. Huh, that explains that. You hand off a box to another harried-looking part-timer, who nods in acknowledgement before rushing off. What used to be a daunting pile is now steadily dwindling. I'm glad I hired some part-timers to help with the event, at least. They've been a huge help with making sure that nothing falls apart. Some of them could definitely use a break, though. I didn't mean to have them on their feet the entire time, but that's kind of how things turned out. He falls silent, looking pensive, then appears to shake himself out of his reverie. But you don't need to worry about that. By some miracle, we're now box-free. You do a little fist bump in celebration. Andrew grins. And I've got some time now to show you around, if you're interested. But if you're just here to stop by, I'm still very grateful for the support. I said last time, are you sure you have free time? And they explained that, like, even though it's busy, like, no worries, and they end up showing you, like, everything. How about you show me what you're proudest of? Actually, I mainly came to see you. I think both of those are okay options. You might overwrite your file. Is this how I do this? Ah, yes. Okay, this is how we do it. Okay. No, show me what you're most proudest of. Andrew immediately lights up like a very tall and red Christmas tree.
Oh, I'd
Oh.
be happy to. Here, I'll show you.
Okay. You weave around the crowds for a bit until you stop before a wall near the crafts table. A wealth of colorful, cruddy, but guilelessly childish drawing are displayed proudly on the wall, covering it almost entirely. The styles in the art pieces range from stick figures and indescribable squiggles to detailed anime figures with flowing poses. Still, it's clear that every drawing was done with boundless enthusiasm. I asked the kids to submit an illustration of one of their favorite scenes in the books. Talent and level doesn't matter, of course. I'm just glad there's been as many submissions as there have been. I'm hoping to make it into a full wall decor, but I'm not sure if it'll just look kind of odd. You examine the wall of drawings as you listen to him ramble, taking in the various personalities that shine through the countless illustrations. A particular yellowing piece of paper catches your eye and you lean forward to take a closer look. Your rigorous examination confirms it. The name's pretty badly written, but this piece of paper is another A. Mitchell masterpiece. Andrew sees where you're looking and smiles, the expression both self-conscious and bashfully proud. Oh, another A. Mitchell original, huh? You take another look at the drawing. Its paper is yellowed with age, the once bold strokes of crayon and pencil now slightly faded. This looks really old. How long has it been here? At least a decade, I think. I drew it back here when I was a kid and the owner decided to put it up, despite my many complaints about it being embarrassing. Something like nostalgia has entered his eyes. You study him for a moment, then turn your gaze back to the drawing. I see. I kinda thought this place was yours. Didn't expect it to be that old. Andrew gives you a look of mock offense. Are you saying You playfully roll your eyes. Get over yourself, you know what I meant. He laughs. But yeah, I wasn't always the owner. Someone else held the title before I did. He set up this place, made it everything it is. Huh, that's funny. It feels like you and this store both sprang from imagination finally formed. Spawned into existence, just like that. Straight from the ink and pages. Yep, risen from the works of Wordsworth and Shakespeare, as Brine Bay's chosen bookkeeper and creative. Serious business. You look at each other with matching solemn expressions. Suddenly, you raise your eyebrows and Andrew breaks into laughter. Well, flattering as that is, this place wasn't always mine. I was just the one who came after. Sometimes it still doesn't feel like it either. You tilt your head in response, but Andrew doesn't elaborate. He seems to think that he said too much. A hub of activity surrounds you as people mill around engaging with the store's various activities, and you find yourself soaking in the energy of the event. People take pictures, write notes on offered stationaries, and peruse through the different displays. You look at Andrew, and you can't help notice the look of pride on his face. He takes in the hectic yet so far happy interior, almost like he can't believe he actually pulled it off. Despite the worries he had voiced earlier, he looks quite at ease, both in your company and in the eye of the event. Andrew, we need you here. Be there in a moment. He turns back to you, then glances at the bargain bin standing dutifully near the front of the
Why
store.
don't you take something from the bin? A gift. As thanks for everything today.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Who am I to say no to free stuff? Upon rummaging through the bin's content, you come to a decision. A book. You recognize the book, and it seems that Andrew does too. His eyes light up with interest as he slips it into a bag, tucking it in a cute little bookmark along with it and handing it to you. I've read this before. You should come by again sometime. Tell me what you think of it. Sure, sounds fun. You have the bounty of spoils in your hand and wave at Andrew in farewell as best as you can. Andrew's eyes curve into a smile. If you like the experience, be sure to leave a 5-star review for Book Hook online. You roll your eyes and laugh. So that's your game. Woo your customers with personalized stores and freebies to get those 5-star reviews. What a profiteer.
Hey now.
Hey
That's
now.
just called good service.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do this for everyone, you know.
Oh, what did I do to deserve such stellar treatment? Andrew looks back at you over his shoulder. His lips curve into a boyish grin. An impish light shines in his eyes. It's an expression you didn't quite expect to see on him, but you find you don't dislike it. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out next time. Where should I go now? We will see. We will see. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of options. Oh, we can just go to the bookstore again. Alright. Well, we're going for Andrew's route, so let's go to the bookstore again, I guess. I just got out of there, but okay. When you arrive at the bookstore, it's significantly quieter than you expected it to be. Through the open door, you can hear the sound of someone humming. It's the only sign that the bookstore might still have people. You step closer and poke your head through the doorway. The store's interior is completely bereft of the crowds that had been milling about only this afternoon. Dust motes dance in the light of the setting sun. It looks completely different from the bustling scene that had greeted you earlier. It hadn't been that long since you left. Could it really have emptied out so quickly?
Sorry, we're closed. Is there anything I can...
Oh, he's tired. Andrew appears around the corner and stops when he sees you, staring in surprise. Mira? You give a little wave. Hey. He gives you a warm smile before flicking his gaze around the store, as if to check if there are any other surprises lurking about.
Hey.
Nice seeing you again. I've gotta say, though, I'm surprised it was so soon. He tilts his head slightly, looking at you curiously. Did you forget something? You wouldn't be the first one today, so don't worry. The lost and found box is behind the counter if you need it. Feel free to take a look. You shake your head. I'm not here for the lost and found. Ah, what brings you here then? And how did you get in? You smile and reply to his last question, leaving the first one unanswered. The door was open. A look of realization flashes across his face, followed by a trace of embarrassment. Ah, he thought he locked the door. That sucks. I've been there. Wait. I have been there. It is not great. Especially if like you're the only one left in the store. Right.
Oh.
Oh. I knew I'd forgotten something. Andrew moves to hold the door open, but you're too busy scanning the store's interior to notice. Apart from the trash scattered around the store, decorations adorn bookshelves, and several books haven't been returned to their proper places. You don't see anyone here other than you and Andrew. Are you really going to clean all this up by yourself?
Well,
Remember how I said that I promised the part-timers that they'd be signing up for a pretty laid-back gig, only for it to be not that? He smiles sheepishly. I let them go home early to make up for it, so I'm handling cleaning up myself. You tilt your head slightly. Then you pretend to roll up your sleeves, grinning. Looks like someone needs my assistance again. A laugh bursts from him. I wouldn't say need. You wag your finger at him. Now, no need to be shy. Just hand me a broom and I'll sweep you off your feet. He blinks. Did you just... Where's my broom? Andrew snorts, but he dutifully hands you one, unable to say no to your chidings. Alright, let's go. They don't call me the sweeper for nothing. Are you sure anyone calls you that? No. I'm the minesweeper, maybe. Less doubting and more cleaning. Soon, the two of you settle into some sort of comfortable rhythm. You bustle around the store with your broom as Andrew busies himself with cleaning up the various odds and ends on the crafts table, sweeping the trash into the garbage bag and putting away what needs to be kept. You crouch down to dismantle the foam puzzle mat set up in a corner. According to Andrew, he only puts this out when Book Hook is hosting a reading circle, which is apparently a rare occurrence. I'm just grateful that anniversary celebrations normally come in 5ths or 10ths. If I had to host another one next year, I'd probably fall into a coma. That serious? You saw the crowd. The store was practically full to bursting. I can't count how many fires I had to put out today. I don't know. It was hectic, sure, but it seemed like you were enjoying yourself. To me, anyway. You think back to the look of pride and accomplishment on Andrew's face. How he'd taken to his role as event manager like a fish to water. Box-related mishaps aside. Andrew smiles briefly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was a little fun, but that doesn't mean I want to do it every day. I do feel pretty good about pulling it off, but if the next event is gonna be just as busy, he winces jokingly. I might just put it off until the 50th anniversary. Speaking of, have you ever read the series? Trials of Tempest, I mean? Well, I think most kids did growing up, but it was pretty special to me. I actually picked it up right here, in this store. Andrew sweeps his gaze around the shelves of the store, something far away entering his eyes. I wasn't much of a reader, but I wasn't really big on the outdoors either. I just spent most of my time playing games with myself and hanging out with friends. I wasn't one to hang around the store back then. The one time I did, the owner took me around and told me all about his favorite books. Anyway, he saw that I was a bit interested in the Trail series. I just thought that the covers looked cool at the time. I was nice enough to let me borrow it instead of paying for it like I should have. He smiles to himself. I know you're not really supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I'm glad I did. Do you think it still holds up as a series now that you're an adult? What was your favorite book in the series? And let me guess, it changed your relationship with reading? What was your favorite book in the series? Andrew pauses for a moment, thinking. Probably... Sorry. God damn. Probably the 4th? I know it's a pretty controversial opinion because a lot of people don't like the way it ended, especially for one of the characters, but I thought it was pretty narratively fulfilling for them. He twirls a marker around his fingers, looking thoughtful. I don't think a redemption arc has to end in actual redemption for it to be good. It just has to give a character a chance at doing something right for a change. He starts sweeping the areas around the craft tables as Andrew moves to carefully removing the meticulous cut paper decorations adorning the bookshelves. How about you? You much of a reader? He looks at you over his shoulder, a smile in his eyes. Promise I won't judge you if you aren't. Yep. As much as I appreciate the assurance, yeah, I am. I've been reading for a long time. It's something I really enjoy. I thought as much. Oh? Why is that? Remember earlier, with the bin? You chose a book, so I figured you'd be at least a little bit of a reader. Ah, right. I'm itching to get started on it. The synopsis looks pretty interesting. Well, I won't give you any spoilers, but you're definitely in for a time. Wait, what does that mean? You'll see. You empty your loaded dustpan into a garbage bag before straightening, shooting Andrew a glance. You know, that explains quite a bit. Like what? You gesture around the store at the remains of the celebration. All this, from what I've seen, you pulled in quite the crowd. It may have caught you by surprise, but with how everything seems to have went smoothly, it's clear you went above and beyond. He pauses. It seems that he didn't expect to hear those words. I guess I did do more than I usually would, compared to things like author signings anyway. Not that I host a lot of those. He falls silent, then smiles at you. A small but pleased, and a little shy. After that, your conversation ebbs into a pleasant lull. You and Andrew move with a tactic understanding, tidying up the store bit by bit. For a while, the soft rustles and clatters from your movements are the only sounds to fill the store, echoing almost comfortably in your ears. Comfortingly, sorry. You take a look at the sky through the windows. It's starting to darken now. Its once orange radiance slowly giving way to a veil of ink dark purple, like paint spilling across a canvas. You remember your first meeting with Andrew, only yesterday. He'd been sitting in front of an easel. Easel? I hate this word. Smudges of black crayon on his face and hands. You wonder if he'd be able to paint these skies, capture them on some medium. You wonder if he's ever tried before. A sound enters your ear, then a soft humming, quiet in volume, yet nevertheless almost bright and upbeat in its tune. It somehow sounds familiar, though you can't quite put your finger on why. You shift your gaze to the source. Andrew appears to be fully absorbed in his cleaning. A small smile rests on his face as he hums, gentle and unguarded. You don't think he even realizes that he's doing it. It's then that you recognize the tune. It's a popular children's song that's likely sung in most kindergarten classrooms, usually accompanied by the sound of clapping little hands. Something about Andrew choosing that song of all things is kind of funny, and maybe a little cute. Join in? Your voice joins in on the action, humming along. For a moment, your voices meld together amongst the tranquil stillness within a bookstore. But then Andrew halts, his voice abruptly cutting off. You look at him, confused, only to see him staring at you, cheeks flushed pink.
Sorry.
What for? Embarrassment is clear as day on his face. He kind of looks like he wants to burrow into a crack in the ground.
I'm usually, I'm used to being alone. That kind of just came out of habit. Sorry.
Oh? What? You laugh. It's fine, there's nothing to be sorry for. I actually think it's a little cute. The blush on Andrew's face darkens. He pauses, floundering, unable to meet your gaze. Thank you? You want to laugh again, but you suppress it for his sake. Instead, you keep humming, picking up where you left off. This time, it's your voice that rings across the space around you, humming a tune that brings back idle memories of childhood antics. It takes a moment, but Andrew soon joins you. Quietly at first, but clearer and more confident as time goes on. Your song fills the store as you continue cleaning and closing down for the day. The door closes behind you with a soft click. After a long, eventful day, you wrap things up with a nice hot shower and get into some fresh pajamas. As you head towards the bed, you can't help letting out a small laugh and shake your head when memories of the day flash through your mind. There isn't a dull moment around here, huh? You plug your phone in before you pull the covers back and flop onto the comfortable mattress. Alright, time to settle in for my nightly scrolling. Let's see. Yeah, ignore. The words and colors begin to blur on the screen and your eyelids start to droop like they're held on by heavy weights. I think I can finally sleep. With a sleepy press of a button, your phone screen turns black and you limply plop it beside your phone. Your eyes shut and the soothing sound of the beach from the slightly open window lull you to sleep. Off to the dream world you go, preparing you for another eventful day tomorrow. Tomorrow. Sorry. Ah, yes. Who should I talk to today? That's quiet. Ooh, alright. Oh, we can go to the bookstore. Okay, who else is around? Town Square. General store. Beach. Bookstore. The cheerful ringing of the bell above the door is the only thing to welcome you when you step across Bookhook's threshold. It's quiet, which is to be expected of a bookstore, but this is really quiet. You could almost hear a pin drop. Almost. Bright, cheery sounds effects break through the silence, and it doesn't take you long to trace them to Andrew, who's sitting right behind the front counter. His head is bent down towards his phone, brows furrowed together in a manner that reminds you of a student facing a particularly daunting problem in a test. There's something familiar about those sounds. Shuffling, ringing, clinking, clicking. Something that a light bulb switches in your mind. Is he playing fucking solitaire? He hasn't looked up at all since you came in. It's clear that he's not paying much attention to the front door. Oh. Try to spook him just a little. You tiptoe behind the nearest bookcase, keeping your thread as light as possible. Then, once you've secured an acceptable hiding spot from where you can peer at your oblivious victim over a row of books, you call out in a low, quivering voice. Ooh, it's me, the ghost of novels past. Andrew's shoulder visibly jumped, and he lets out a rather undignified yelp. He jerks his head up, eyes wide, only to meet your gaze through the crack in the bookshelf. You continue on, undeterred. All souls beware, for I have no mercy to spare. You're only awarded with a bewildered snort. The ghost of novels past, really? You step out from your hiding place and shrug, grinning. Sure did spooky though, didn't I? I think it was less the content and more the sudden disembodied voice that did it for me. You pretend to preen. Come on, admit it. I make quite the convincing ghost. Andrew shakes his head, but he can't suppress a smile on his lips. I'm not sure if that's really something worth being so smug about, but sure. Anyway, when did you get here? I didn't notice you come in. You flash a grin. 3 hours ago. And Andrew playfully rolls his eyes, seeming to have regained his composure. If that was the case, I'd have to get you detained on the charge of breaking and entering. Damn, is that how you treat your customers? Only when they come in while the store's still closed and locked up. You click your tongue. Seems like you might have to call the sheriff on me then. You'd been joking, but for some reason, a strange look appears on Andrew's face at the quip. It's gone in a flash, however, leaving you no time to decipher it. Never mind that. It'll be nice just this once, and I'll let you go, in return for being today's first and only customer. You raise a brow. First and only? You take a cursory look around. The store is as silent and still as when you'd first come in. Is it always this dead? He shrugs. More people come in when the start of school term is closing in. Last minute summer reading assignments and all that. Most of the time, yeah, it's just this. Yesterday was probably the busiest the store has been in a while. It does get pretty boring, but compared to yesterday's chaos, I prefer this quiet a lot more. You nod in understanding. Got it. That does explain why you didn't even notice me come in.
Sorry.
Ah, right about that. Sorry. I have some very important business to take care of. You treat him to a raised eyebrow. Right, because Solitaire is so important to the entire workings of a bookstore. He smiles, looking wholly unrepentant at being caught. Exactly, and I'd like to get back to finishing my game if you please. You hold up your hand and surrender. Yeah, important business, got it. I did come to the shop if that helps. Sure, I'm here if you have any questions. Oh, and he holds up his hand, displaying 5 fingers. We have a sale today. But literally literally anything and I'll knock 50% off the other thing. You tilt your head. Do bookstores do specials like that? He shrugs. I do, for the customers that come in at this time of year, which, as you already know, are next to none. Damn, sounds rough. It's just how it is. I'll go take a look around then. I can't not take advantage of such a good deal. Andrew hums and nods you off towards the depths of the bookstore, shooting you a faint smile. Knock yourself out. You wander off, then winding your way through the book stacks set up across the store. Andrew's gotten the place cleaned up pretty well. There's no real signs of anything from Trials of Tempest left except for display marketing the anniversary reprints. Other things have taken their place though, lying quietly around the corners of the space. Half-finished projects seem to be another feature of this bookstore. They're everywhere, from the shop floor to the out-of-the-way nooks and crannies. Parts of the walls sport unfinished paint jobs, and you spot decorative displays like wobbly book pyramids, the occasional painting, and is that supposed to be a book throne? Laid out in hazard piles. You hadn't noticed them before with everything else that had been going on, but it is a little messy. You survey the space before you, weighing your options. Investigate the majestic-looking book throne? Investigate the charming little painting inside a crate. Investigate a half-finished mobile. The painting? A small rectangular crate sits against the wall, its open side turned to face the rest of the bookstore. Its interior is painted after the likeness of a place you recognize immediately. Its bookhook's storefront, from the little books in display windows to the open sign on the door. While the backdrop is lovely, the rest of the piece is a little muddled and unfinished. The foreground is only partially painted and you can't make out what it's supposed to be. Miniature strings of crystal beads lie in a small heap in the corner of the crate. What their purpose is, you don't know. Overall, the project gives off a very abandoned air. You raise your voice and call out to Andrew, curious. Hey, did you make this painting of the store? The one inside the crate? It's pretty cute. There's a marked silence followed by a cough. Then an awkward string of words flows from the other end of the bookstore. I thought you were looking for books. Hard not to notice these things when they're right out here in the open. Alright, fair. So, did you? Yeah, I did. Never finished it though. It's sort of a mess. Maybe so, but I think it's gorgeous. The details are amazing. It's true. Everything from the textures of the wall to the posters and books in the display windows have been rendered in loving detail. The entire storefront looks like it's about to pop out from the wooden canvas. There's a smile in Andrew's voice when he replies. Thanks, I'm glad you think so. Mind if I ask what these beads are for? Oh, those? I was planning to glue them to the upper side of the box as these sort of raindrops. Had them hanging down from the sky and such. It was supposed to be a diorama, you see. The store on a rainy day. I got pretty excited about the idea, but well, my glue gun broke down and never got around to it. Oh, now that he mentions it, these crystal beads do sport varying shades of blue. You hum in thought, imagining what the finished piece would look like. Sounds like a cool idea. I hope you get to finish it one day. There's a pause. You'd think you sense some surprise from it. Then comes a soft laugh. Thank you, but it's not a big deal. I only started working on it because I wanted to keep myself busy. Not much else to do around here after all. But didn't he say that he didn't like it when the store got too busy either? You're about to say something when... Oh. There's a soft thump from somewhere in the store. You cock your head, surprised. Andrew, is that you? What do you mean? Huh. I'm almost sure I heard something, but if Andrew didn't notice, then it was probably nothing? Just then, a shadow moves out of the corner of your eye. Run. Defend. Scream. Huh. Do I scream? I don't want to scare the cat. Defend? You tense and hold up your fist when your new company makes itself known, and you stare, stunned into silence, as a sleek black cat with wide blue eyes stares at you with quiet interest, tail waving in the air. What the... Mia, are you okay? It's then that Andrew comes barreling in, brandishing a stapler, but he stops in his tracks the instant he sees the cat, who merely looks back at him curiously. So do you know this little guy? He sheepishly drops his hand back to his side.
Sorry.
Yep, sorry about that. This is my cat, Chipoki. She's almost always here and is pretty quiet most of the time, so I forgot to mention it. He looks apologetically at you. She usually has a little bell on her collar, but she must have gotten it off. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. A bit annoyed, that scared the hell out of me. Don't worry about it, it's no big deal. Yeah, I'm fine. A look of relief appears on Andrew's face.
Sorry.
I'm glad, but still, I'm sorry about that. Don't be. You nod in reply, and he gets to searching around the area, presumably for the cat's, Chipoki's missing bell. I know what you're thinking. I shouldn't have a pet just wandering around the store in case someone has allergies, and you're right, but it's unnervingly quiet here during the summers. No, I don't think that at all. I don't have an actual partner that work with me outside of the special events, so I've just taken to bringing her in when there's nothing big going on, which is most days, but maybe I should leave her at home from now on. No! He mutters the last part of his sentence, looking reluctant at the thought. Well, I'm not going to police you or anything, but if you wanted to be careful, yeah, you could put up some sort of warning, like you said, there might be someone with allergies and you wouldn't want them walking in without knowing. His brows crunch together and eventually he nods. You can put like a little sticker or sign like, there's a cat in here. You're right, I also should do that. Thanks, Mira. He smiles at you and you smile back. For a moment, silence falls between you, and then suddenly, Andrew chuckles. You look questioningly at him. What's up? Nothing, it's It feels like you're developing a track record of helping me out whenever we meet. First yesterday, then just now. It's funny, but I appreciate it, really. His gaze is warm and sincere, and you look away with a soft laugh. Something about the way he looks at you, earnest and weighed with the meaning, has you feeling the tiniest bit self-conscious. Well, you were the one who helped me out first, remember? My night in paint and crayon, rescuing me from the throes of the Great Cookie incident. A laugh bubbles from Andrew and you grin. Well, that doesn't quite make us even, but I guess I'll just have to do my best to make up for it, yeah? Ultimately, Andrew ends up proclaiming the mystery of Chipoki's missing bell a lost cause. According to him, this has happened a few times before and he has some extra stored away at home anyway, so it isn't a big deal. The two of you head back to the counter, with Chipoki held snugly in Andrew's arms. Actually, Mira, did you find anything that you were interested in? He looks back at you over his shoulder as he speaks, eyes curious. I know you found all my little side projects, but I didn't hear anything about a book or books. Yeah, I found a couple. One's called Superstition, a catastrophic affair. One is called The Eternal Emporium of Never Endings. I think the cat one. It's funny. It begins with the mysterious murder of an unwitting tourist with a small town called Salt Coast. Oh god. And you'll never guess who the culprit was. It was the bookstore owner's adorable little cat. Who could ever have predicted that? You click your tongue. No need to look so judgmental. Admit it, it's hilarious. It's terrible. Terribly good, you mean? He attempts to choke back a laugh and ends up having a coughing fit as a result. Chipoki leaps from Andrew's arms and sprawls out onto the counter. Andrew quietly pets her, intermediately scratching her chin. You mentioned you found a couple. What's the other one? You reply jokingly. Chipoki, you did say anything for 50%. He snorts softly. She's off the table. Chipoki immediately moves to get up, almost as if taking his word into account. Ah wait, I didn't mean literally. She flops back down again with a faint meow. The little episode manages to prompt a smile out of you. When did you get her? Probably a few years ago now. I've been running the bookstore for a while, but I lived on my own and it was getting pretty lonely. I thought a dog would be nice at first, but then I realized that I don't have nearly an active enough lifestyle to keep up with one. You nod and he continues. My mom always wanted a cat when I was growing up, but it was never a good time. She always talked about this cat that she had as a kid, scrawny and small, the color of ink. Then years later, Chipoki came up to me at a shelter and, yep. At the mention of her name, Chipoki meows, nudging her head against Andrew's hand. She fixes her wide-eyed gaze on you. Next, there's an almost expectant look within it. I think she wants you to pet her. Yeah? Can I? Sure. He smiles crookedly. Think of it as a compensation for that scare she gave you earlier. Well, I think in that case. You reach out and gently scratch the top of Chipoki's head. She arches into your palm, eyes narrowing in contentment, and lets out a light purr. Man, you're really cute, aren't you, Chipoki? Chipoki meows in reply. You decide to take that as an agreement. Hang out with Chipoki's free, but only for half a day. Why only half? Andrew smiles, two dimples appear on his cheek with a gesture, his eyes curving up at the corners. I've got to put that 50% in somewhere. Where should I go? That's the park. Okay, these are my two options. We can go back to the diner. I think I'm gonna go for Chris's route next though, so let's go to the park. It's a perfect day to be outside, and the rest of Brine Bay agrees. There are as many families as there are people like you taking a stroll around the... Why do I say scroll and not stroll? And then when I have to say scroll, I say stroll. Around the park on what must be a daily afternoon walk. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and... Mare, you've got to get your hands off my eyes, I can't see. There's a large bike with a minimum of 3 people on it barreling straight at you. Shit, Mare. There's some combination of quick reflexes and a yelled warning that gives you enough time to fall backwards onto the sidewalk, mere inches away from where the bike and its riders skid to a stop. Only once you get your bearings do you realize 3 things. Kai is halfway to kneeling in front of you. He had been pedaling one of those large carriage-like bikes with a bench attached, and his 3 passengers are blonde, blue-eyed little girls that look suspiciously like Chris. Are you okay? Oh, that's so bad. Catherine's brow knit together as she chews on her lip. Not far behind her, you spy her sisters, Meredith, shyer than the last time, and Mia, looking like she's seen a ghost. Sorry, Mia. I'm sorry. Yeah, save it. You nearly ran me over. No, none of you guys got hurt. You're alright? Catherine waves her hands to allay your concerns. We're fine, totally. Don't even worry about it. I'm sorry it happened. Meredith was... Ugh, don't get me started. I can hear you. You were meant to. Kai helped you back up, steadying you on your feet before the wordlessly letting go of your hand. The 5 of you relocate off the path along with the bike to open up the sidewalk to any passerbys again. Fancy, huh? Biking into you. Hey, Kath. The typically placid look on his face is broken by a hard jab in the side by Catherine. He squirms away from her, riding like a worm on a rainy day. I can't believe you let a child goad you into doing that. Call me a child again, I dare you. Says the second tallest child, very loudly and childishly. It's not fair for you to use an SAT word against me. Goad is not an SAT word. Do know, it was pretty sick, Kath, outside of the vehicular manslaughter. I know that's the word either, Meredith. What are you, Jean? You're supposed to call him Sheriff Williams, Meredith. Also, stop calling me Kath. You know I hate it. You let Kai do it? Yeah, well, Kai's hopeless. Damn. Kai, you're not supposed to curse. Kai snorts, shaking his head as the girls argue back and forth. He catches your eye, a touch of mischief hidden in warm brown. You met him yet? I ran into them at the diner yesterday when I was grabbing breakfast. Babysitting. Their summer's program's off today. Catherine scoffs loudly. Sorry, young lady sitting and babysitting. Between Kai and Chris, the difference in Catherine is nearly night and day. Everything she says sounds long, suffering, and tired now when compared to the almost austere way she was in front of her brother, perfectly happy to play her part as oldest sister. It's kind of hard to tell if this is the product of Meredith pushing her buttons for the last time or if it's Kai being, well, Kai. Kai's gaze softens, his arms crossing over his chest as he leans against the parked bike. So what's up with you? I'm guessing you're not here to get run over. Get the man a prize! Honestly, I wanted to get some fresh air that wasn't at the beach. We're about 10 minutes from the shore walking. Beach air everywhere. I get it, though. It's, different from trees. What's with the bike? Mare wanted to ride, but no one's gonna let her rent an electric bike by herself. Miangelo can't ride a bike yet. And Kat didn't want any parts, so... Oh, is that her name? Miangelo. So, three-seaters. He jerks a thumb in the direction of some alleged bike rental farther into the park. If you've got nothing planned, wanna officiate a race for us? Seriously? We're going to do it? Yeah, didn't you say you wanted to? Yes. Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in on everything. It's a race from there to here and back. You've gotta be hauling at least 3 people. Hence the bike, Meredith says with a wave of her hand. Kai's pretty fast, but not me fast. On account of being a hag, I guess. I told you he'd hold it against you. Yeah, whatever. So it's my turn now. I'm carrying around Kai, Mia, and Kath, but you can swap in if you want. Your eyes meet Kai's. You can seriously mean that he was going to make a 10-year-old carry around 2 grown men. Or a grown you. Oh, carry around a grown man or a grown you. He shrugs. Meredith doesn't notice. I can hear your doubt. But I can totally do it. Does it have to be a bike race? Wouldn't running be better? Yeah, alright. I'm putting my money on you, so you better win. Hell yeah. You shouldn't curse, Mare. You said it 10 minutes ago. Did I? With the race back on, Meredith leads the way towards the chosen bike path, another stretch of sidewalk. This time, nowhere near the park entrance. Everyone takes their place on their respective seats on the benches. Kai indelicately drops himself into his, nearly rocketing Meredith out of her spot. Everyone ready? Count us off, Mira. Go. That's not counting. Whatever, bye. So she says, but it doesn't take a genius. Anyone could tell that it was a lost cause from the start. There might have been a chance if it was only her sisters, but... The spokes of the wheel slowly turn as she forces the pedals forward one at a time. her small hand white-knuckled as she grasps at the handlebars, until the bike abruptly shoots down the path, minus one Kai, who's standing innocently next to you. She won't be mad? She'll probably be pissed. But I fell off. You saw that, yeah? Meredith returns, panting and red-cheeked from the exertion of still toddling around her two sisters. See? Nothing to it. Yeah, you did it, Mer. She grumbles, her eyes shooting down and pride turning to annoyance in a fraction of a second. Don't think I don't know what you did. Who won? Huh? Who won? That's what you're here for. Didn't you see who actually finished first? Honestly? You didn't. Were you supposed to have a time then? Also, you didn't know when Kai finished either. So Meredith looked at you with such eager anticipation that you may as well make up an answer. Not even a question. You did, obviously. Have I told you that you are looking beautiful today, Mia? You haven't, but I appreciate it. Should we give you guys some space? Are you done with the silly plan of yours now? It's not silly, Catherine. I'm serious. Plan? She wants to run in a marathon, but the category for, people our age. I know what it looks like, but I can do it. Trust me. Meredith's no doubt an athlete and an optimist one at that. It sounds condescending to congratulate her on having goals, but it is pretty impressive. By the end of the summer, I'll beat you fair and square, Kai. So don't think I've... Ice cream. Mia, quiet as a mouth, finally pipes up in a voice that's louder than a whisper. Her eyes grow wide as she peers at a passing ice cream cart. The operator singing and smiling jovially as he rings his bell. Can we? Kai digs out his wallet, producing a few crumpled bills to hand off to the girls. Meredith shoots him a look from over the top of pushing Mia's head as if to say this conversation's not over. Kai shakes his head, sighing as his hand comes to rest at the back of his neck. God. They're kind of handful, huh? You have no idea. I don't really, want to put it in my full effort against the kid. But she really wants me to do that, and I don't know how to tell her I'd look bad for me too. I mean, it's what she's asking. She's giving her all, so you should do too, right? Kai quiets, a soft huh falling from his mouth almost as soon as the words leave your mouth. Didn't think about it like that. I mean, you know her better than me, so maybe I'm wrong, but nah, you've got a point. She wants me to take her seriously, even if it's... He waves his hand nebulously. She needs proof for herself or something. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna magically get her into an adult marathon, but Yeah, Hey, are you guys getting anything or what? With a gesture and a wave, Kai directs you back towards the ice cream cart. Each of the girls have gotten their own, and with a flattering anything you want from Kai as an apology for nearly turning you into a gum on the sidewalk, you leave the park with a handful of ice cream bars and an afternoon worth of fun. Where should I go now? I've got 3 options. No, I've got more options. I got many options. Oh, park. Garage. Town square. General store. The arcade. We're going to the town square. Brine Bay's town square is busy no matter the time of day, which is supposed to make sense given it's in the central part of town. Here, numerous shops and stalls are gathered for the perusal of locals and tourists alike. A dazzling variety of items sits in stalls and storefronts, from handmade jewelry to produce to novelty toys to snacks. A veritable crowd of people mill about the square under the gaze of the evening sky, drawn out by the promise of a cooled down air. You turn your eyes this way and that, soaking in the sights of mentally taking notes of those that particularly pique your interests. You likely won't be able to go through all of them today, but there's still tomorrow and however many days you've got left stuck in this town. Ding-a-ling-ling. Ice cream, come get your free ice cream right here through the power of friendship. Huh? A woman standing by a large ice cream cart decked out in pastel colors calling out enthusiastically to passerbys. She holds a small bell that she shakes at regular intervals, making its delicate chime ring throughout the square. Special promotion brought to you by Delgado Ice Cream only today. Get 2 triple scoop ice cream cones or cups, your choice, by winning our friendship quiz. But a word to the wary, no one's ever won before. Oh? She shakes her handheld bell again. So step right up, if you dare. Do you have the courage to stand on trial for the promise of free ice cream? As you watch, two women rise to the challenge, laughing. They take position in the center of the square, surrounded by a loose circle of interested onlookers. Soon, a round of questions and answers is being fired back and forth to the cheers and groans of the audience. That's funny. For ice cream, it's a pity I don't have anyone to go with. I wonder if they'll allow the video calls. Your train of thought is interrupted, however, when you catch sight of someone from the corner of your eye. There's no mistaking that tall, red-haired figure. Andrew. You don't think you've ever seen him so enraptured before. Has he even blinked? He's watching the ongoing quiz with laser-like focus. Anyone would think he was watching a particularly tense sport championship instead of a friendship quiz. Eventually, though, he does turn his head and see you standing there. He finally blinks, surprised, then waves at you in greeting. You don't miss the way he seems to perk up when he sees you, his eyes curving up as he immediately breaks into a smile. You smile back, something warm and bright stirring in your stomach. He breaks into a jog and comes to a stop before you. The smile on his face turning into something smaller, quieter, and softer.
Hey.
Hey. Hey yourself. You were looking pretty focused over there. He chuckles, looking sheepish. That obvious? Uh-huh. You look like you were about to burn a hole right through them. Just gathering intel is all. Are you interested in the promotion too? Yeah, I am. He brightens. Oh, cool. I just closed up book hook for the day and was heading back to my apartment, but I thought I could use a sweet treat after all that, so here I am. You smile teasingly. Oh yeah? Your really busy day of sitting at the counter and playing solitaire? Hey, it takes brain power and energy to maintain that 147 count winning streak, you know? You gape. 147 count winning streak? It used to be in the 300s, but well, things happen as they tend to. He speaks humbly, but there's no mistaking the proud look on his face. You cross your arms and lean back, raising your brows. Well, looks like we have a hidden master here. I wouldn't go that far, but thanks. He grins at you, the expression bright and almost childish. Anyway, I was wondering. You were wondering? Free stuff. Everyone likes free stuff. You nod in agreement. That's true. And by winning a quiz, we can get free stuff. Free ice cream at that. You look at him amused. It's a friendship quiz. We literally just met like yesterday. First off, we met 2 days ago, not yesterday. You snort, but Andrew continues undeterred. And besides, we can hear the questions now. He clenches his fist and gives it a little shake in excitement. You've literally never seen him so animated before. They're all softballs. What's our favorite color? What's our favorite place in Brine Bay? That kind of thing. We can just prep each other for it, and it'll probably be fine? His voice tapers off near the end of his sentence, uncertain, but he perks up again. Anyway, what's the harm in trying? It'll only be a short while, and it's not like we'll have to pay or anything. Damn, you really want this, don't you? I really do. Why not just ask one of your friends then? That'd probably be way easier. He clears his throat. None of my friends are here right now, but you are. You can't help throwing out a quip. Lucky me. So, what do you think? He stares hopefully at you. You almost expect him to clasp his hands together in a plea. Alright, what the hell, let's do it. Andrew grins happily at your enthusiasm. Alright, what the hell, let's do it. Oops. Yeah, let's go. Okay then, let's ask each other some questions and memorize each other's answers. Ready? Andrew nods. Hit me. What's your favorite time of day? What's your favorite food? He doesn't hesitate to answer. Mozzarella sticks. You raise your eyebrows. That was fast. He grins crookedly. I've loved them ever since I was a kid. And you? Pasta. Andrew nods. I'll remember that. What's your favorite time of day? He takes a moment to think, his brows furrowing in thought. Damn, he's taking this really seriously. Then he answers, it's with firm confidence of someone giving a royal decree. Nighttime. You'll mind holding out a mic. Care to tell the masses what makes nighttime special to you? He laughs and leans in a little to your foul mic, unable to suppress a shy smile. I like looking at the stars and painting them sometimes. You nod solemnly and tuck away your mic. What about you? Also night.
Oh.
Oh hey, same time. Hell yeah, we've got good taste, you and I. What's on your bucket list? A pensive look forms on his face at that question. He doesn't answer immediately. You wait patiently, letting him sort out his thoughts. Only one thing, right? Right. He rolls the back of his neck. I guess the answer would be redecorate the store. Spruce it up a little. I've wanted to do that for a while. You tilt your head. Why don't you? You've got the time, right? Andrew grimaces. Well, yeah, but I never get around to it for some reason. The unfinished projects he'd been stuck into the corners of book hook pop into your head, as if crying out for justice. Isn't it more like you've never finished redecorating? He looks to you. How about you? Surf for the first time. Meet someone famous. Surf for the first time. Well, you couldn't be in a better place to check that off your list. Yeah, maybe. How amenable are your lifeguards to dragging half-drowned tourists out of the water? Though he recovers quickly, something falters in Andrew's gaze. Since it's their job, I'd say pretty amenable. Andrew smiles. I hope you get to check that off your list someday. Nighttime, mozzarella sticks, redecorating the store. Once the two of you have prepped as much as you could, you both step up to participate. The previous participants are already long gone, and the ice cream vendor welcomes you with a beaming smile while you approach. What's this? More participants? Welcome to the Friendship Dairy Trials, and thank you for your courage. As she speaks, she applauds fiercely, prompting a smattering of cheers from the small crowd that has gathered to watch. Before we start, may I get the names of our brave challengers? Sure, it's Andrew. And I'm Mira. Welcome, Mira and Andrew. Now, she takes 2 mini whiteboards and markers lying on the ice cream cart's counter and hands you both one of each. The rules are simple. You take your places, stand across from each other, and I'll ask you a question. Now here's the kicker. On your boards, you'll be writing each other's answers. For example, if I ask for your favorite color, Mira, we'll write down Andrew's favorite color and vice versa. Capiche? When you both nod, the vendor continues. Once you've written down your answers, let me know and make sure to keep your boards hidden till I give you the go-ahead. When you're both ready, you'll each tell me your own answers to that same question. So, Mira and Andrew, continue off that last example. At this stage, you'll tell me your favorite color out loud. Once we've heard both your answers, you and your friend will show each other your boards. If that's what you've written on the same as what your friends answer, then you get points and you win that round. Okay. See? Simple, right? Yes. As you take your places, you glance at Andrew. He looks faintly nervous, but when he sees you looking, he shoots you a reassuring smile. Alright now, first question. What's your favorite food? You only have time to catch the delighted look on Andrew's face before you're both scribbling furiously on your board. What did Andrew say earlier? Mozzarella sticks. Alright, now keep your boards hidden, Mira. What's your favorite food? Pasta. And Andrew, what about you? Mozzarella sticks. You can't help the way your heart does a little jump in excitement. Good. Now on the count of 3, show your boards. 1, 2, 3. You both raise your boards and instantly your eyes go to Andrew's board. Scribbled across it in black marker is pasta. Your face splits into a grin. You meet Andrew's eyes only to see see his expression mirroring your own. And that's round 1 in the bag. Good job. Now the question is, can you keep this up? Second question, what's your favorite time of day? Immediately, you both rush to write. Andrew's favorite time of day is night. You and Andrew lower your boards at the same time. Hup. This time, I'll ask Andrew first. What's your favorite time of day? Night. Mira? Night. Alright now, show your boards in 1, 2, 3. You both raise your boards and instantly your eyes go to Andrew's. Scribbled across it in black marker is night. You smile triumphant. Andrew impulsively makes a fist bump, beaming. Oh ho, well done. You're halfway there. But don't relax just yet. This is when things start getting really heating up. Round 3. This one's a doozy. What were the first words you ever said to each other? What? Andrew's eyes widen and you feel your own do the same. The surrounding crowd breaks into entertained murmurs, and as the two of you stare at your current host, she beams back, wholly unapologetic. Well, go on, time's a wasting. Remember, your partner will be the one to decide what the correct answer even is. Well, shit. Perhaps it's adrenaline from your successive wins, but you actually feel an answer a memory bubbling up from the depths of your mind. You look at Andrew and see him frowning in thought, the gears clearly turning in his head. What was it? How did we first meet anyway? The cookie incident. Your first meeting only 2 days ago was pretty eventful. You remember, an accident, a collision, the cookie incident. And Andrew had been at his easel sketching something. What did he say to you? A switch flips in your mind and you hastily get to scribbling. Oh, you've got this in the bag. Soon you and Andrew are once again standing on trial before your host, who gleefully grins as she claps her hands together. And now comes the moment of truth. The atmosphere is infectious. You find yourself swallowing a gulp. You wouldn't be surprised if a drum roll suddenly started playing. First up, Mira, what was the first thing you ever said to Andrew? Did you see all of that? Andrew doesn't even give the vendor time to reply. He laughs to sound bright and exhilarated and raises his board. Written across it in bold letters are the words, "Did you see all of that?" Well, well, well. What a twist, Andrew. It all comes down to this. What was the first thing you ever said to Mira? He doesn't hesitate to speak. Are you doing okay? You meet his gaze, expression unfurling into a shit-eating grin, and slowly raise your board. The words are written with an air of finality. Are you doing okay? Pop. Confetti abruptly comes raining down in a kaleidoscope of colors. Much to the delight laughter of the audience, you look at your host, who's holding a gigantic party popper in her hands. Where was she even hiding that? You have no clue, and beaming wildly. Congratulations, you've officially passed the friendship dairy trials. Everyone give them a round of applause. A surprising amount of applause comes from your audience, who whoop and cheer for your victory. You smile, casting a look at Andrew. He's grinning broadly, sorry. A touch of shyness in the curve of his smile, but he's standing tall. Step right up to claim your free triple scoop ice cream. You walk away 3 scoops of ice cream richer, still buzzing with the thrill of the quiz. Andrew looks particularly pleased, digging into his ice cream. He chose in the cup, with a smile on his face. See, I told you it'd be worth it. Yeah, you win. He grins. I'll have to prep us better next time. You pause and look at him sidelong. I'm only here till my car gets fixed, remember? He falters and smiles sheepishly. Oh, right, I forgot for a moment there. There's a flash of sadness in his gaze when he looks at you, but it's quick to disappear beneath his returning brightness. Still, thanks for going along with me. I figured this wasn't how you expected the evening to go, but I had a great time. You hum, taking a bite of your ice cream and shooting him a smile. I had fun too. His eyes curve up at the corners, pleased. And so you continue on your way, ambling down the lamplit streets of Brine Bay underneath the fading purple sky, talking and laughing. It's cute. Alright, time to settle in for my nightly scrolling. Let's see. Ignore. The words and colors begin to blur on the screen, and your eyelids start to droop like they're held down by heavy weights. I think I can finally sleep. With a sleepy press of a button, your phone screen turns black, and you limply plop it beside your pillow. Your eyes shut as the soothing sounds of the beach from the slightly open window lull you to sleep. Off to the dream world you go, preparing you for another eventful day tomorrow. A new day. Who should I talk to today? Oh my lord. Let's see. We're at this part. Okay. We're back. Alright, let's go. The trek to the bookstore isn't too far, but you can't help slowing down to admire the quiet, colorful streets. Art covers the walls on either side of you, featuring spray paint and chalk graffiti from local artists. There's posters taped in several spots advertising community events, concerts, and more. Just as you reach your destination, you come to a full stop when you see a familiar and very recognizable head of white hair. Vince is crouched down in front of the book hook's window, peering intently as he pokes at the glass with his finger. Okay, that's not strange at all. I wonder what he's up to. You slowly inch forward, unsure of how to greet him. Maybe you can slip past him, or just try to approach normally. Vince turns his head and instantly pins you down with his gaze. Shit, There go my choices. You walk towards him, acting as casually as one can after getting caught sneaking up on someone. Hey, Vince. Oh, hey, Mira. He goes quiet, leaving you two awkwardly staring at each other for a few seconds. He clears his throat, opting to turn back to whatever he's been staring at through the glass. What could be so interesting about oh my fucking god? You follow his line of sight and gasp softly at Chipoki laying on her back, stretching far to paw at Vince's finger. Pink toe beans press against the glass, trying valiantly to capture her prey. Bright round green eyes are transfixed on Vince, and you notice a fluffy tail playfully flicking back and forth. The faintest puff of laughter graces your ears, so you tear your gaze away to find Vince smiling, his expression light as air. I didn't know you and Chipoki were buddies. Vince makes a surprised noise and glances at you. You know her too? Yep, had her scared me while I was browsing the store the other day. Do you come to visit her often? Sorta. Chipoki's nice, but pretty picky in who she interacts with. Really? She seemed to warm up to me pretty quick after we met. You do have a vibe about you that helps, I think. That sounds weird, huh? Sounds like you two have a lot in common. I'm not a cat, though. That's not the similarity I was thinking of, Vince. Oh. Silence lies in between you two again. He taps his fingers in different spots along the window, watching intently as she follows, paws making cute little thumps against the glass. You have a bunch of questions floating around in your head, but something about this quaint quiet is so nice that you keep them to yourself. From what I saw last time, Chipoki's quiet but sweet. It's no surprise that they'd click and become fast friends. Vince laughs again, the sound just barely audible, like he's holding himself back. You find yourself wondering how it'd sound if you let out a full-on, gut-busting one. Chipoki's tail is going full speed now. Flopping against her bed excitedly. Vince stares at her fondly, his chin propped up on his other hand. Play with her too, or watch them? Play with her too. What are you doing just standing there? A cute cat is right in front of you. You lean over, placing her finger against the glass within Chipoki's view. She perks up, her little black nose twitching curiously. Vince quirks a brow over at you before moving his finger. She turns to him, reaching over with a paw. Oh, so it's going to be like that, huh? You're on, Matador. You draw a rapid zigzag line next to his hand, and Chipoki's on you in an instant with both paws. Ha, take that. He huffs, using his nails to tap a catchy rhythm. She swings back to him, eyes wide with joy. Not to be beat, you swipe your hand across, making a loud squeak against the glass. He quickly slides over at the same time, and your fingertips land on top of Vince's, the shock of his cold but soft skin meeting your warmth, freezing you two in place. Chipoki takes advantage of the pause and triumphantly plants both paws against you and Vince's palms. She's standing on her hind legs, meowing victory. Vince is the first to pull away, coughing into his fist. The tip of his ears burn bright red, and you're pretty sure you're not faring any better. Sorry. Oh, it's fine. Time flies, and soon enough, Chipoki tires out from chasing her prey. She yawns, curling into a cozy ball and tucking her chin in. Her eyes slip shut, and her breathing slowly evens out as she falls asleep. The two of you watch her for a while longer. Vince eventually stands up, patting his knees. We should go. She definitely needs her rest after all that playing. I don't want to, but yeah, you're right. Vince snorts and shakes his head. You really like her, huh? How can you not? True, I don't think anyone can resist her. Yeah, even the crabs would play nice with her, I think. Vince's jaw drops as you quirk a brow at him. He groans, slapping a hand over his forehead. Oh my fucking god, I almost forgot about that. I definitely didn't. It was a very memorable first impression. His cheek tint pink, and he mutters something under his breath. As both of you turn and start to leave, you look back over at the sleeping cat and the bookstore. Do you have somewhere to be right now? No? Why? The store should be open soon, so why not go in and actually pet her? She was literally begging for it earlier. Vince's shoulder tenses and he shakes his head. Nah, I'd have to prepare my heart for that first. You seem comfortable playing with her just now. What's wrong? It's complicated. I. His breath hitches and he stops dead in his track. You screech to a halt and nearly run into his back. Hey, why did you. Your question trails off as you look past Vince's shoulder, finding Andrew standing equally frozen in place with wide, startled eyes. Oh, good timing. Andrew gonna open up the store and. Wait. The two are still like statues, not making a single sound. You glance between them, confused, to find Vince's face stricken with fear, anxiety. I know it's a small town, so maybe they know each other? But something feels off. There's a tension in the air that you're not sure what to do with. Vince sharply inhales as if he forgot to breathe, the sound high and tight. Andrew stiffens further at the sound, his eyebrows knitting into what you think is a look of concern. And after that, nothing happens again. It's the most awkward standoff you've ever witnessed. Shit, maybe I should try to do something? You know, I intervened last time, but maybe we let them try to sort it out. There's a clearly some problem with them, but it's not your business to intervene. Their silence continues to stretch on until Andrew decides to make the first move by clearing his throat. Sorry, excuse me. That kickstarts something in Vince as he jolts and practically flings himself against the wall, pressed as flat as possible. Not exactly the most subtle show of getting out of someone's way, but you chalk it up to Vince just being Vince. You follow along in a way less dramatic manner, sidestepping away and giving Andrew a polite smile. He blinks, casting a quick look between you and Vince. He walks away, nodding his head in greeting. Thanks. Good morning, Mira. Morning. I was just keeping Chipoki company back there. At the mention of his beloved kitty, Andrew looks over just as she opens her big green eyes. She stretches her legs out from beneath her and lets out a mighty yawn, showing off her pearly white fangs. Her gaze meets Andrew's and she blinks 3 times, slow and full of affection. He smiles brightly at her, his eyes crinkling adorably. She meows loudly in response, pressing those irresistible pink toe beans against the glass. That's my girl. Maybe I should stay. I want to give her pets so badly. Yeah, just give me a second. His smile drops a few degrees and his brows furrow a bit. He continues staring at her, pointedly avoiding looking over at you and Vince. Hey. You know for a fact that wasn't directed at you. Not with the way Vince's breath hitches again, and you can feel the tension radiating off of him in waves. I'm really glad she got to see you. Andrew's voice shakes a bit, like he's struggling to hold back his emotions. It might sound a little weird, but I've told her about you, so she must have remembered. Vince's eyes widen, and he turns ever so slightly to look at Andrew. Oh, uh. His mouth opens and closes several times as a weak sound escapes his throat. Sorry, I gotta go. You turn to try to stop him, but when you hear the harsh squeak of his sneakers against the sidewalk, Vince, he speeds off, his panicked footsteps quickly falling out of earshot, and just like that, he's gone. You glance between Andrew's stiff form and the empty space where Vince just was. Should you go after him or stay? Want to come inside? Andrew unlocks the door, pulling it open with a gentle swing. Chipoki meows, turn loud and excited as she hops off from her bed to greet you two. It's probably for the best that you give Vince some space, so you turn away from the street and head into the bookstore. Meow. As you walk in, Chipoki weaves between your legs, butting her head against them. You bend over, giving her some much appreciated head and chin scratches before straightening her back to observe Andrew. He's lost in thought as he brushes a hand against the counter, jaw clenched and shoulder coiled tight. Seems like he and Vince have history. Were they friends? No, that doesn't feel right. Enemies doesn't fit the bill either. Strangers make even less sense, especially with the way they both reacted to each other. Watching him like this makes something twist in your stomach. You want to comfort him, but you're not sure where to start. Sure, it's not your problem, but you can't help feeling both curious and worried for him. Andrew clears his throat, bringing your attention towards his hesitant face. Sorry, did you wait long? No, just got here. Relief crosses his face and he nods. Oh, good, good. Thanks for keeping Chipoki company. She's a sweet cat, but can be pretty picky with her company. I was going to say it's a surprise how quickly she warmed up to you, but I get her. You make it really hard not to like you right away. He smiles softly, and he feels your cheeks warm, and you feel your cheeks warm at the way he's staring right at you. Flattery will get you everywhere, Mitchell. I'm glad Chipoki likes me. I'd be heartbroken if she rejected my love. She meows, she meows, clearly saying that she'd never do that. No way, she's got a good eye for people. Then it's testament to how much she likes Vince, huh? The gentle probe about him makes Andrew's shoulders drop with a long, heavy sigh. Yeah, I'm surprised he still comes around to play with her. Well, not so much that part, since I doubt anyone could resist Chipoki, but just being at this place, I guess. Is everything okay with you guys? He smiles wryly and shrugs. That's a hard question. I don't want to bog you down with the past right now. I get it. Don't push yourself. I'm all ears when you want to talk, though. I really appreciate it, thanks. If anything, I'm kind of bummed out I missed it while I was out throwing the trash. You sure did. Chipoki's tracking skills are top notch and super adorable. Maybe one day I'll get the chance to see them together. There's a brief silence after he finishes speaking. He beckons Chipoki over with a click of his tongue. She dutifully struts over to him, purring as she bumps her head against his hand. You watch him pet her with gentle, loving touches. Her eyes are squeezed shut as she laps the attention up, looking extremely pleased. Aside from napping and playing with people behind the window, does Chipoki have any other fun cat activities on her schedule? Not really. She wanders the bookstore while I'm busy, finding a little nook to relax in if she doesn't want her bed. She needs more enrichment. Look at her. She's just begging for it. She totally agrees with me. That sounded more like a question than a confirmation. But you make a good point. She's usually more playful and energetic when there's no customers. I know she wanders off throughout the day while I'm busy, though. You can only roam a store for so long before a bunch of energy builds up and you don't know what to do with it, honestly. True. He looks over to you and smirks, his eyes twinkling with mirth. Is that your way of volunteering yourself? Wait, what? Yeah. Oh. Oh, he's gonna let me take her for a walk? Yeah, why don't you take her for a walk? I've got her harness somewhere around here. Shibuke perks up, eyes wide and tail raised sky high with excitement. Andrew laughs, scratching in between her ears. She seems really into the idea. Well, she turns to you and meows pleadingly. You've heard of puppy eyes, but kitty eyes are even more lethal. I'll think about it. Your fate is as good as sealed with that. Where should I go now? Are we not taking her for a walk? I thought we were taking her for a walk. Ooh, these two. I can skip this. I heard you two fighting. Don't worry, that's just how we usually talk to each other. Damn, really? I wonder how you two how you two get if you actually fought then. Wyatt fighting? He'd rather stomp away and sulk than go head to head. Oh, you two seem to be having a wonderful conversation without me. You two seem close. I guess this one is what I chose last time. Defend the vendor. Alright. Now where do we go? Town square. Huh. Okay, so you can't really like end the day with your choice of character. Alright. Well, we already know what happens there. So let's go to the town square where there is Kai and Kevin. It's late in the evening, yet the town square thrums with life. Paris stroll with the radioactive buzz from a fun evening out. Their giggles and laughter hinting at continued adventures, while Ruckus goofas? Guafs resound from one of the nearby food stalls. It's on this especially bustling night that you're leisurely tra- traipsing around the fountains, around the mountain, lights humming with one eye out for something to do. This entire section, oh, disgusting. I'm terrible at this. It would be nice if the ice cream promo was still happening, but alas, today yields nothing of the sort. Your ears perk, and you turn in time to see a street performer pull out her violin from her case. She plucks lightly at the strings, testing for tune before reaching for the bow. You move closer with the crowd, curious to what she'll perform, when a blur of holiday cheer darts past you. Was that? You squint after with nagging recollection. Was that Kevin and Kai? Suck it, Nugent. Sounds like someone lost. As if you were eating my fucking dust at the corner. You only call me Nugent when you're. Oh, fuck my ribs. As Kai braces himself on Kevin, Kevin rests a hand on his shoulder, steadying him while he wheezes. The two look into each other's eyes, and then Lucia says, "What? What?" Well, there you have it. I won. Somehow, seeing them bicker like grade school children throws you for a loop, but since they've stopped under that tree, I guess my plan for the evening just sorted itself out. Clearing your throat, you waltz up to both of them and... Boys, you're both pretty. I'd be thinking that, and I would say it if I knew them, but have you guys decided what the prize is yet? Their heads jerk up simultaneously, looking more like meerkats than like, well, grown adults competing in a foot race. At least Kai isn't competing with a 12-year-old this time. Ah, well. Neither of them budge either, both gripping each other's shoulders for dear life. Rubbing it in his face is sweetest prize of all. Also, he's gotta pay for brunch in there next time. Brilun? Breakfast, lunch, dinner? Next time. Run that by me again? It's short for whenever we have time to eat. Oh, right. Real quick, Kai, her car is in my garage. Kevin blinks owlishly, his hovering, introductory hand frozen in midair. Understanding hit him like a chuck. He relaxes for a sarcastic grimace. You're shitting me. And just when I thought this town couldn't get any smaller. With a shake of your head, you gesture at the two of them as they finally separate. So is this what you two get up to after work? More or less. We don't really plan when we hang. We just figure it out as we go. It's been kind of a bust, though. We don't know what to do. Kevin sprays a hand across Kai's chest and lightly pushes him to the side, as a stream of no's, more pointed than the last, tumble from his lips. It's not that we don't know. I know what I want to do, but this fucker has been turning down everything I've pitched tonight. It's because they're no good. Dinner's not good enough for you? I didn't know when you were getting off rehearsal, so I already ate. And swimming? Sun setting, and you want to do it as naked. Hard pass. Kevin's face contorts with bewilderment before smoothing for a pointed look at that Reese I told you so. However, they all sound like valid reasons. Okay, then you try. Hands raised, Kevin takes a step back, leaving you a metaphorical open mic. Forgetting that you're a total tourist, you rifle through the options you've come to consider while in town. Have you considered shopping yet? What about a bar or club? Guess it's time to visit the next town. Shopping? I don't know. What about a bar or club? Kev might be down for it. Me though? I'll pass. Oh my god. Lame. Have you considered shopping? Just looking might be fun too. Nah, everything's closed by now, except maybe like that restaurant on the pier. I guess it's time to visit the next town. Sounds good. Except Kev's got a curfew. Ugh, don't remind me. You have a curfew? Yeah, I hate to say it, but this is a bust. Guess we could go play Quintus. Dude, you always say that. Not always, sometimes. I say we should go to the karaoke, which... Kai blinks expectantly, and Kevin palms his face. Whatever hesitation is visible through the web of his fingers, it crumbles with an indifferent slump of his shoulders. Yeah, fuck it, let's do karaoke. Just take it easy on me tonight. I gotta save my voice for rehearsals. Kai doesn't respond as he flattens his lips, not quite a smile, but not exactly a grimace either, and Kevin levels him with a wary glare. Mercy, bro, I'm begging. What am I missing here? Kai being a total karaoke diva. Really? Skepticism seeps into your tone, and the tops of Kai's shoulders rise to chin height. He's exaggerating. Sure, man. We'll see if you're still humble later. We? Yep, we. You're joining us, right? Isn't this your guys' night? I don't see why it can't be our night. Besides, prettiest faces in town should be seen together. Okay. Well, you are curious about Kai's singing abilities. Alright, I'm in. It's settled then. There's just one thing. What's up? Kevin shrouds the answer behind an impish grin. Walking backwards, he makes for the fountain and Kai wordlessly breaks from your side to follow suit. Questions take root from their silence, and even more are sowed when they start chucking their shoes off and rolling up the hems of their jeans. Surely they're not going in the fountain. Splish splash. While Kai hops over the fountain's edge with a cat-like poise, Kevin huddles into the water. Their brazen deed easily attracts the attention of those around them, and gasps and snickers alike crescendo all around. Oh, say less. This is so on brand for them. What are you guys doing? You know what? Sure. Something immediately clouds your better judgment. Thrill, maybe, or perhaps it's just plain stupidity. Either way, you're running up to the ledge to join them. Oh, that's cold! You shudder as cold water kisses at your ankle, a small dose of adrenaline coloring your cheeks as Kai and Kevin welcome your arrival with cheer. What's the move now? Now we plunder. Plunder? And as a united band of modern-day pirates, Kai and Kevin bend down and indiscriminately snatch up the coins resting at the bottom of the fountain. That's not... No! Bit by bit, you start to see the stone once hiding underneath nickel and copper, and you take to the roll quickly, scooping up whatever lies below. You guys have jobs! Part-time's down at the theater and garage, eh? Nah, it's just tradition. It all began a long, long time ago. I was 6, he was 9. Oh, he's older. Brine Bay didn't have shit, but the arcade opened up for the first time. The thing is, we heard from the older kids that you'd need coins to play, and well, we were broke. So Kaya over here had the brightest idea. It was a joke. Okay, but it was still a really good idea. So one day, we just took what was in the fountain. Rebels. Criminals, actually. The sheriff back then caught us. I mean, it wasn't hard. We were like 3 feet tall and soaking wet. You were expecting a juvenile little story, but not one with this twist. Rightfully shocked, you let the coins you managed to collect slip between your fingers and return to the pool with a plop. My parents were not happy to be called in by the sheriff. Kai's, though. To this day, they still tell that story when my aunt visits. They think it's hilarious. Even more than the blacktop accident? Kai bursts into laughter, arresting you momentarily for how pure and genuine it sounds. And Kevin dissolves into his own chuckles as a memory resurfaces between them. Nah, but I just lie about that one. They think it's you now. What the hell? But I was innocent. Uh-huh, I was the victim, so... It was literally your fault. Wait, what happened? Excuse me. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you look toward Kai for the details. However, just as he opens his mouth to spill, Kevin fiercely splashes over and slaps the palm over it. Excuse me. Hmm. Man! Oh, I'm dying. Not really. Well, not any faster than the average person, but... Mm. I feel like I got something stuck in my throat. Alright. No, you don't. I'm not standing for this slander. But I wanted to know. Then you'll hear it from me, not from... Did you just bite my hand? You taste like chlorine. We're in the fountain. Also, apologize? It's expected that people would know one another in a small town, as evidenced by your run-in with Andrew and Vince. However, these two didn't just know each other. They were friends through and through. The kind that apparently have no trouble receiving and returning repartees and roughhousing. Say you're sorry. Actually, no. Apologize by letting me stay over. What? Why? My mom's getting on my case and no. Oh, come on. Help a friend out. No, dude. I don't want to give your mom another reason to hate me. She doesn't hate you. Kai shakes his head as he turns back to the shallow pool, hands busy once again. She literally said it to my face, man. At least she didn't roll her eyes when I said we were gonna hang out tonight. Why would she roll her eyes? Because she thinks I'm bad influence. As soon as he says it, you're hit by how incredulous that sounds. Kai has the appearance of a delinquent, sure, but anyone who spends time with him would know the cover is simply a cover. Yet Kevin bobs his head in confirmation, lips twisting wryly. She likes him when we were kids, but he just had his hair dyed and gets all those piercings. His voice is high to relay what you can only assume are his mother's words verbatim, and Kai kicks up a stream of water that strikes Kevin on the arm. But Kevin also has piercings and dyed hair. Bruh, don't make fun of your mom, man. She's my mom. Besides, you know she was being ridiculous. Kai rolls his eyes as unimpressed as you've ever seen him, and Kevin shoots him a replicate look while he roots about for more coins. Anyway, once I got my piercings and hair done, she never stopped complaining about it. Ah. Did you do it because of Kai? Were your parents cool with your piercings, Kai? Your mom sounds strict, Kevin. Oh, did you do it because of Kai? Were your parents cool with your piercings? Oh no, did you do it because of Kai? A little. All the cool kids were doing it, so why wouldn't I? I always knew you looked up to me. That's such a low fucking bar, man. I know, that's why you can and then and there went Kevin, slugging Kai in the arm to send him staggering off to cling to the decorative stonework in the center of the fountain. Alright, gang, what's our total? Walling over, the three of you collectively count your bounty and rejoice over a measly $8.76 in quarters, dimes, and pennies. It's definitely not enough for a karaoke session. You all exit the fountain, wet imprints marking each step as you scoop to collect your shoes. Putangin, it's Jean. And Kevin books it down the sidewalk. You trade alarmed glances with Kai and immediately take off after him, neither of you risking a look back, and so you run like the wind. The three of you only stop once you've hit the suburbs, winded and your soul stinging from each footfall on the pavement. It's then, only then, that you warily squint over your shoulder. Where's Jean? He lied. Huh? Kevin swallows a lungful of air. Oh, he wasn't there. What? Yeah, no, I didn't see him. Kai lobs one of his sneakers at Kevin, and when the latter dodges, he slings his remaining shoe by the laces. That one successfully hits its mark, nailing Kevin on the shin. Ow, my beautiful unblemished skin! You suck, man. I'll get me my shoe. If you think about it, getting baby arrested was a rite of passage, but Jean probably won't arrest us, so I just wanted to share the potential of it with Mira. Yeah? Despite his demands, Kevin hobbles over to retrieve his shoe anyway, fitting it back onto his foot like the least dainty Cinderella you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, worse it happens, he lets us off with a warning. We get wasted, go to karaoke, same shit every time. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, it kinda sucks. It's boring. I can't wait to get out of this dump. Kai goes silent, heel hitting the ground and standing as real straight as you've ever seen him. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch his head lowering and his hands getting shoved into his pockets. Yeah, sure, eventually, when you're good and... I mean, it'll be soon, man. Just when I'm ready. Yeah. Yeah. If it were up to you, we just keep doing this until we're 80. Poor Jean. He'll be 90. The two of them share a small little laugh, even if Kai is a little more rueful. And Kevin pushes off from the street lamp he's been leaning against. You two good to go yet? Yep, all set. Mira? Yeah. Nice, let's roll. Let's roll, team. Why was I... Oh my god. Anyway. With a pep in his step, Kevin strolls ahead, sneakers still dangling by the hook of his fingers, and Kai trails after at his own pace. You... hang with Kai. So, what are you excited to sing tonight? Oh, his sentence trails off, It isn't difficult to figure out that his eyes are on Kevin's, retreating back. He's only a few steps ahead, but Kai's is miles away, somewhere inside his own head. Something classic, probably. Love a good power ballad. Aren't you just full of surprises? The hard corners of his lips soften, half falling open as he gives up a laugh instead of another word. His gaze returns to you, his eyes warming as he smiles. If this is all it takes to surprise you, you'll love it when Kev starts hitting the bubblegum pop. You open your mouth to say more, but a teasing holler cuts you off. Kevin, somehow even further away than the last time you saw him, is tracing an arc in the air with one hand cupped around his mouth. You slowpokes, hurry up already. Relax, man. The space isn't closing for a minute. Kai shouts back. He then tips his head towards his waiting friend, a small bend to his lips. It's a handful. Come on, before he starts monologuing. Together, the three of you amble through town into the promise of the night. Alright, time to settle in for my nightly scrolling. Let's see. Ignore. The words and colors begin to blur on the screen, and your eyelids start to droop like they're held down by heavy weights. I think I can finally sleep. With a sleepy press of a button, your phone screen turns black and you limply plop it beside your pillow. Your eyes shut as the soothing sound of the beach from the slight open window lull you to sleep. Off to the dream world you go, preparing you for another eventful day tomorrow. There you go. Okay. I mean, Andrew's sweet. I was kind of hoping that. I mean, it makes sense that you don't get like a date art, if that makes sense. Like one of these arts, basically, with any of them yet. That's like more of a finished game kind of thing. So, yeah. So those were the scenes with Andrew and some of the other ones that I hadn't chosen before. So that. We can do a different run, a different day. Thank you for playing the demo. Oh, right, their Kickstarter is up. I'll put a link uh in the chat and also in the video description. I tabbed out and it fucked it all up. Anyway,